Hi everyone, my name is Moni.
And I'm Naveen from Before You Play.
And today we have another playthrough for you. This time it is for a game called Coffee Traders.
This one's designed by André, Spil and Rolf Sagel, and it's published by Capstone Games. The box says 3 to 5 players, but there's actually a 2-player variant, and we are going to be showcasing that today.
Yes, and so in this game, we are going to be producing coffee and selling it, or trading it.
Trading
actually.
it, yes.
It is called Coffee Traders after all. And we're doing this amongst 5 different co-ops. And so this is potentially a long game. And so we are going to include timestamps down below if you'd like to jump around. Of course, we're going to start with a teach and then go into our full 2-player playthrough, which is a variant that the game comes with, followed by a review. So if you are interested in jumping around, we'll include timestamps down below. But first, this playthrough is partially sponsored by a coffee company called Many Worlds Tavern. And so we'd like to take a minute to tell you about them.
Many Worlds Tavern is an online coffee retailer who specializes in gaming-adjacent themed coffees. They have 4 different flavors in a variety of grind sizes, including whole bean, French press, and drip. They also have an option for decaf for those who aren't big on caffeine.
Today, we are drinking Dragon's Nest.
Dragon's Nest, yes. This one is a lighter roast. It has more of a fruity kind of profile, fruity flavor, and it is from Africa. Specifically, it's a blend from Tanzania and Ethiopia.
To me, it tastes like Homely House, which is the last flavor, my favorite flavor, but it's just a little bit lighter.
Yeah, typically we'll have this one if it's our second cup of coffee. We typically drink 1 cup of coffee a day, but if we drink 2, it'll probably be this one.
Yes. Now, when you order through Many Worlds Tavern, your coffee will come beautifully packaged straight to your door, and $1 from every bag sold will be donated to a gaming-related nonprofit. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Many Worlds Tavern and what they're all about, we've included a link to their website down below. This link also includes a 10% off discount at checkout on your entire order for the first 100 people who use it.
So thank you to Many Worlds Tavern.
All right, and so without further ado, we are ready to begin. So if you please direct your attention to the center of the table, we're all set up here for our 2-player game of Coffee Traders, the secret 2-player option, right?
Yes, secret. Doesn't say it on the box,
Yes.
But it comes with the game.
It's there. And just to kind of give you the lay of the land, in the middle here, we have the large board.
It's really big.
It's really horizontally big. This is one long board. It's beautiful, but it's quite long. And the board houses the 5 different co-ops from around the world that we're going to be placing plantations and trying to gain some coffee from. So we have Colombia, Ethiopia, we have Indonesia, Guatemala, and Brazil. We also have Sumatra, because if you are familiar with the civet cats in Sumatra, we're going to be also making that type of coffee. Each player also has their own player board, which is actually very important for the game.
And also big.
And also very big. You know, we're not going to be able to get this any closer than it is now. So we're really hoping that you'll be able to follow along. But we will explain everything as we go. And so like we were mentioning, this game is all about building our plantations in these different co-ops, growing coffee, and then trading it away.
That's right.
And so we're doing this over the course of only 3 rounds. But it is quite a lengthy game. It's also a little bit heavy. And there's a large area control component to it, which you'll see. And so at the end of the 3rd round, whoever has the most points wins. And so like we were mentioning, this game is played over the course of 3 rounds. Each round consists of 6 different phases, and they're all laid out here on your player board. And we're going to go through each one of them. But basically, over the course of the game, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building plantations in these different co-ops. And so as you can see, we've already seeded the different co-ops with some level 1 plantations, including the 3rd neutral player who's going to be present in our 2-player game. Yes, that's André. And we have a few additional plantations on our board, as well as other buildings that we're going to be building throughout the game. At some point during the round, we're going to be putting out our traders in these different co-ops in order to acquire coffee from the different plantations that are present there, so that we can then turn them in to fulfill our different contracts, as well as fulfilling areas in the coffee bar. And so starting with the first phase, which is the work phase, we are each going to be taking turns taking actions. And so the way that that works is each player has these 3 action cubes. And so everything that's in the top left-hand corner here is your company supply, because we do play as different companies. And so at the start of the game, we have 3 action cubes. We start with 3 coins and a donkey, which is going to be very important in a second. I also want to mention that to the right of that, we also have our bonus supply that consists of 3 different things. One being a 4th action cube, another trader/contractor, and 3 coins here. And so at any time during the round, players can take from their bonus supply what they need, but you can only take at most 2 out of the 3 of these things. Anytime you take the money from the bonus supply at the end of the round, for each coin that you could not return back into that supply, because this is kind of like a loan, you're going to lose points. So you definitely want to be cautious when taking the money. And so back to the work phase. In this phase, there are 4 different types of actions you can take, and they are all laid out here on the left side of your board. They each cost 1 action cube, with the exception of one of the actions which costs 2. And so the first action that you can take, which is probably going to be the one you're going to be doing the most, is building a plantation. So this is the most basic of actions. It costs you 1 action cube. And what you're basically going to be doing is placing out a new plantation into one of these 5 co-ops. And so the way that that works is there are 3 different levels of plantations, and they're numbered as so, 1, 2, and 3. Each co-op has 3 different rows of plantations, and you must build from the bottom to the top. Meaning if I don't have a plantation in this co-op at all, which I don't because I'm the purple player, then I have to start by building a level 1 plantation in this bottom row.
Yep.
And so take this co-op, for example. I already have my level 1 plantation right there. That means I now have access to building a level 1 or 2 plantation in this second row, but it must be connected to a level 1 plantation below it that I own. And so you're allowed to build a level 1 or 2 plantation in the second row, and in the third row, it's a level 2 or 3. Now you may notice on your player board, there are also 3 different rows of plantations. When you take this action, you're going to choose the leftmost plantation from one of the rows. And so if I wanted to build, say, another level 1 plantation out there, and I'm going to choose this top row here, then I just take this leftmost plantation. I'm going to get whatever the bonus is below it, which is going to get me a donkey into my company supply. And then I'm going to choose a co-op to place this plantation in. If it is the first time I'm placing a plantation in a co-op, say I go to Ethiopia over here, then I also have to turn in one of my workers from my worker pool into the community center. It's kind of like I'm contributing some assistance since I am now in that co-op, right?
Think of that person as the one that's constructing this new building.
There you go. Now, instead of doing that, if I chose to build a level 2 plantation, which is the leftmost plantation at the bottom row here, I have to pay 1 coin for level 2s. And if I build a level 3, which is the rightmost over here, it costs 2 coins. And you can see that above the plantation on your player board. And so in this example, the only areas where I can build a level 2 plantation are this co-op, this one, and this one, because they are the ones where I have a level 1 in them right now. So if I wanted to build this in Colombia, I would have to place it right here because it is the path that connects to my level 1. And then I would have to place a donkey in that spot. And I would have to place that donkey immediately from my company supply, not from the general supply. Now, let's say that instead, Naveen had a plantation right there. And so we're kind of competing for this spot. And in a previous action, he had also placed a donkey in that spot because there is a way for you to place donkeys without building a plantation in the next row. I would not legally be allowed to place my level 2 plantation here because only one player's donkey can be in any of these spots at any given time. And so essentially Naveen placing a donkey here completely blocks my path to this spot. If I wanted to get into the second row of the Columbia company, I would have to build a level 1 plantation in either of these spots and go from there. And so the last couple of things about building a plantation is some of these other plantations will get you other bonuses, such as a civet cat into Sumatra, which we'll talk about that later. And if you completely build all of the plantations of one row, then you'll either get to build a farm, which you must do immediately for the cost associated, which is just 1 coin. Farms are built in these areas that have like a wheat symbol on them.
Yeah, exactly.
And essentially, any of your buildings that go into these co-ops at the end of the game will score you a certain number of what they call a quality value, which will dictate who has the majority in each of these co-ops, scoring you a lot of points. I believe the first place is 16 points.
16 points for first. Second gets 8 points. In a 3-player, or in a 4 or 5-player game, it would be 4 points for that third player.
Yes, so it's a significant amount of points that we're going to be scoring for these co-ops. Now, the third row of these co-ops function a little bit differently. If you cannot, find a path in order to get here from your level 1 plantation through way of these donkeys, then there is an alternative form of transportation, which are trucks. There are going to be a couple of opportunities for you to gain a truck in this game. And as long as you have a level 1 plantation in the first row, you can place a truck in one of the third row areas here to build a level 3.
Mind you, Monique would have had to build 1 and 2 to have access to this 3.
Yes, I jumped the line. And lastly, anytime you see this like double arrow symbol, which might be really tiny, you'll see it in the second and third row, because whenever you place a plantation in either of these 2 rows, you are going to get that benefit, which is a bump up on the Arabica track for that specific co-op. And so the way that the Arabica track works is if you're able to get all of your markers into at least this row right here, you'll score 3 points at the end of the game. If you get them all up to this row, it's 7 points. And this is cumulative. So if you really get up to this row, it's going to be a total of 10 points.
10 points, yep.
Each time you get up to this level in any of the tracks, you get 1 coin. If you were the first person to get to the next level in any track, you get a donkey.
So that's a race.
Yes, this is a race. And if you were to get to this point in any of the tracks, that's going to be an additional 6 points at the end of the game. And lastly, it's also a race to get to the very top. Whoever can get to the top is going to score an additional 4 points, and they're the only person who's going to sit there. And that was just the first type of action you can take. I swear it was the most complicated one, and probably the most complicated part of the game. The rest of it is easy street.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
So we're actually going to jump straight to this third action here because it has to do with the donkeys that I was mentioning earlier. This is also the only action that costs you 2 company cubes because it is kind of like a shortcut. So this action allows you to place a donkey from the general supply because usually you have to earn your donkeys. You have to earn their trust. And so you're placing a donkey from the general supply into one of these areas here as long as you're connected to it. So had Naveen not placed his donkey here, I could take this action, spending 2 company cubes, placing it right there, to take one of my donkeys from the general supply and plopping it down right there, reserving this pathway for me. And so now Naveen is pretty much only left with that spot, who he would have to compete against the yellow player with, André. And that is essentially that action. The next one, action B, costs you 1 company cube, and this has to do with filling the plantations with workers. Because in order for us to grow coffee, we need people to grow them, to tend to them. Yeah. And so when you take this action, you first have to choose one of the co-ops. And you don't have to have a plantation in that co-op to do this. Say I were to choose Colombia. I happen to be there, but I'm going to choose Colombia anyway. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 worker from the community center and place it on one of each player's plantations. And you would place the worker on top of the plantation because now they are going to be available for roasting. And this is important because towards later on in the round, if anybody has a plantation out there that does not have a worker, you're going to have to pay a penalty or remove the plantation. So it is essential that you get a worker on there at some point.
Now, if while taking this action, you place at least 1 worker on another player's plantation, you're actually going to move up the appropriate Arabica track. So in this case, Monique, by placing on André and mine, she's going to move up on this Columbia track.
Yeah.
So it's kind of in your incentive to help other people by placing workers in their plantations, but you also gain a benefit.
Yes, this is mutually beneficial.
That's why it's a co-op. It's cooperative.
And finally, the last type of action over here is just for gaining some resources if you really need them. There are going to be 2 options for you to take when taking this action. And so you're either going to place a civet cat into Sumatra, or you get to take 2 coins. And that's it for the work phase. We're going to be taking actions until everybody passes, and then we're going to move on to the next phase, the workers phase. And this phase is centered around the plantations that potentially don't have workers on them yet. This is going to be your final opportunity to get workers onto those plantations without having to pay a penalty. And so if at the start of this next phase, the board looks a little something like this, as you can see, there are a few plantations who don't have workers on them. Players are going to simultaneously place workers from their own private worker pool onto their own plantations. At this point, we would go at the same time and I would place my worker on top of my own plantation.
Yep, same.
After everyone's done doing that, then in player turn order, which is listed down here, by the way, it's not clockwise, turn order does change. You'll have the opportunity to place any leftover workers onto opponents' plantations. So I don't have any more workers left, but Naveen has one.
I do. So I see this one opportunity to place on Andre's, so I will do this.
Yes.
And I'll place there, and thereby allowing me to move up the Ethiopia track.
And once all players are finished, then for each of these plantations that don't have a worker on them, their owner must pay a penalty. And the penalty is going to be either money, which the amount of money is dependent on what round we're in, or you have to go down on an Arabica track of your choice. Then we move to the third phase, which is the putting out traders and contractors. And so this is kind of like another action phase similar to the work phase, except now we're going to be placing traders out into the different cooperatives so that we can reap the benefits of the coffee. And we're also going to be building these buildings. Now this is all done in turn order. And so on your turn, you're going to choose to either place a trader or hire a contractor. And taking either action is going to cost you 2 coins. And so say it's my turn and I were to choose to put out a trader, I would first have to pay my 2 coins. And then I would choose one of these co-ops to place my trader in. I would ideally choose a co-op where I want to reap the most amount of coffee. I would place my trader in the first spot here, and I would be able to take one of these chits. They're called stock counters, actually. And I would place it down here, where in the corresponding column. At the end of the round, I'm going to gain 1 coffee of this type because I have a stock in the company. But then, in turn order, players will have the opportunity to piggyback off of my action. And that is essentially deciding whether or not to put a trader in that co-op. This is the only time they can decide to do this for this co-op. If they decide not to, then they're shut out of the co-op for the rest of the round. And piggybacking, by the way, does not cost any money, unlike taking the action, which is what I did. And so the person next in turn order is the yellow player. And so they were to choose to, of course, they want to get in on this co-op. So they're going to go ahead and place their trader in the number 2 spot. Then it would go to Naveen. And Naveen would have an option to either place a trader in the number 3 spot or forfeit going there. And if he were to forfeit going there, then he would gain this 1 coin, because the coin essentially goes to the one person who's not in the co-op. However, if the yellow player were to have said no, and Naveen
also says no, then nobody gets that coin.
So it literally just goes to the one person who's not in that co-op. Another thing that you can do here, instead of placing a trader, is you can hire a contractor, which is essentially building one of these buildings. Taking this action also costs you 2 coins. And so what you're going to do is you're going to choose one of these 3 columns, and you're going to build the topmost building from that column. The leftmost column here are your warehouses, and warehouses are the only building type that actually gets built on your player board, not on the main board. And so when hiring a contractor, you take the topmost building of that column, and then you have to place one of your actual contractors onto that spot. So it still costs you a person. And then you place your building. So warehouses, like I was mentioning, go on your player board, and they're going to go into your warehouse area here. And this essentially dictates how many of each a certain coffee type you can hold from round to round.
That's right. Yeah, carry over.
Yeah. So at the start of the game, each player has 1 warehouse. And if you place the warehouse on the side of the area here, this increases the amount of coffee that you can hold for each type of coffee. So at the start of the game, you only have 1, which means from round to round, you can only hold 1 coffee bean of each type of coffee. If I were to place a second warehouse here, I can now hold 2 of each type of coffee. Alternatively, I can place the warehouse at the top of one of these columns, which essentially allows me to hold up to 10 of that specific type of coffee. And you can move your warehouses freely at any given time to suit whatever your strategy is or whatever you have in your warehouse at that time. Building warehouses will also get you the bonus that's listed to the left. And so your first one is a coffee bean. It'll also change your ratio, because right now you can basically trade in any 4 coffee beans for 1 of your choice.
Not the best ratio.
Not the best ratio. Yeah. But if I were to build this topmost warehouse, it'll be a 3-to-1 ratio, which is still not great, but it's better.
It's something.
And then anytime you see this coffee cup, that's going to score you points at the end of the game. So for my first warehouse, it's just 1 point. And so we'll talk about the bonuses as we play the game, but that's essentially how the warehouses work. The next column here is home to the different types of stations that you can build. Like there's drying stations, washing stations, and I forget what the third one is.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And these buildings get placed onto a cooperative on the board. And so they all have symbols associated with them. So this is kind of like a yin yang looking symbol.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be.
And so these stations get built onto the spots that have the same corresponding symbols. So I can choose Ethiopia and then place it there, ideally, because the other spot here, the difference is that placing it here gets me a bump up on the Arabica tract of the Ethiopia company. If somebody already has a building here, because these spots can only hold 1 building each, then I would be forced to place my building here, which is not ideal. Doesn't get me anything in terms of bonuses, but at the end of the game, it's still going to contribute to my quality value for the area majority. And the buildings in the right column over here are your fair trade posts. They get placed also on the board in spots that have like a double arrow, like this spot over here, for example. And again, they also have 2 different spots, one that gets you a bump up on the Arabica track. But fair trade posts are useful, are functional, because in the next phase, we're actually going to harvest coffee from these different co-ops. And anybody who has a fair trade post in that co-op gets to take the first coffee bean.
Yeah, you siphon it off.
Yeah, so that is a guaranteed coffee bean in that co-op. The very last type of building is the very bottom here, which you can unlock by building an entire column of buildings. And this is your hospital. Each player only has 1 of these, and there's only there are a few spots actually where you can place the hospital, but basically any of these like hospital symbols. And all these do for you is at the end of the game, when you're calculating the area majority, these are 2 quality value points rather than just the 1 that you would get from the normal buildings. So those are the different types of buildings you can build. This action you can also piggyback off of. And so if that were my turn and I built a building and Naveen would now decide if he wants to piggyback, he could do so. He wouldn't have to spend the 2 coins like I did, but he would have to pay me a coffee bean of his choice.
Right.
But again, Naveen gets to decide which coffee he's contributing to my cause. And then he would get to build a building. Now, the rule here is if I were to build a warehouse, which is the building that goes on my player board, he must also do the same. But if I were to build a building onto the main board, he can choose whichever building he wants to build as long as he builds in the same cooperative. He does not have to build the exact same type. He just has to build in the cooperative that I'm in.
The last type of action you can take in this third phase is you can spend 2 coins to remove one of your traders permanently out of the game. So you can move up 2 steps on any one track, or you can split it 1 and 1 up on 2 different tracks.
So this is probably something you're going to be doing, maybe in the 3rd round.
Yeah, especially if you're racing to the end where you're talking about getting that extra 4 points. Maybe you can split them up and then get those.
And those are all the different types of actions that you can take during this phase. It's important to note that the phase ends once everybody has passed consecutively, which means I can pass early if I don't have any money or if I decide that I want to wait a little bit. And then as long as other players still continue to take actions and it comes back around to me, I can jump back in. When everybody passes consecutively, this phase ends. And then we go into the 4th phase, which is harvesting the coffee, the most feel-good part of the game. And so during this phase, we're going to go one by one through all of the different co-ops distributing coffee beans. So we're just going to use this co-op as the example since this is where we have our traders.
And let's say I had one of my fair trade posts out here.
Yes. So then you're going to calculate how much total coffee this co-op is going to produce. For each plantation that has a worker in it, each plantation is going to contribute 2 coffee beans. However, in a 3-player game, which also includes the 2-player variant that we'll be playing, each plantation contributes 3. And so in this co-op right now, this plantation doesn't have a worker, so we're going to ignore it. And so this is going to be a total of 9 coffee that we're going to distribute between the players. And so the way that it works is the first thing is anybody who has a fair trade post gets 1 coffee.
So I would take the first coffee off that 9.
Yes, so that's 1 for Naveen. Then whoever has the first place spot over here also gets 1 coffee bean. So then I would take the second of 9.
So we have 7 left over.
And of those 7, you're going to try to evenly distribute the coffee amongst everybody there as much as you can. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which means purple player, me, I'm going to get 3 additional coffee beans, while the other 2 players here will only get 2 coffee beans each. So in this example, I have a grand total of 4 coffee, while yellow has 2 and red has 3.
3, yeah.
Yes, I believe that's how this works. This is our interpretation of the rules. I also want to mention that during the actual distributing of the coffee beans, each player can only have maximum 5. But again, that does not include the bonus that they get for being first or for having a fair trade post. And of course, for each coffee bean you receive, you adjust your warehouse accordingly. In higher player counts, if you also have at least 4 of each type of coffee in your warehouse, then you receive a bonus of a civet cat into Sumatra. In a 3-player game or 2, it's 6. You have to have 6 coffee beans in each, which is pretty hard to get. Now, as for the civet cats, so if you're not familiar with civet cats, they make a very special brand of coffee. Would you like to elaborate?
They eat the beans, they poop them out.
And that's your coffee.
It's cat poop.
Yes.
Coffee, yeah.
During this phase, we're going to gain 1 of that type of coffee bean for each civet cat that we have in Sumatra. And then our civet cats go back into the supply. And these are called Kopi Luwak. They are a wild type of coffee bean. We have a track here just for Kopi Luwak, and it can only hold 5 coffee beans, but they act as any of the other colors. Once all that is done, then we move into the penultimate phase, which is the contract phase. This is where we're going to be taking everything that we just earned, all this work that we've been doing, to reap the benefits of them. So during this phase, you can either use your coffee beans to fulfill contracts, or you can place them into the coffee bars. And I do want to note that this phase is done in reverse turn order. So it's going to go with whoever's last first. It's pretty straightforward. If you want to fulfill a contract, then you're just going to take the contract of choice and you're going to just turn in that many coffee beans of that specific co-op or color. So I would turn in 3 green, 2 of this color, and 1 pink, which clearly I didn't have enough of to do this. You're also going to gain some bonuses depending on which contract you fulfilled. Anything in the first row, which is contracts A and B, will get you a coin, and it's this really tiny symbol in between the 2. The next row of contracts is 3 coins, and under that is 4 coins, because these get harder to fulfill as you go down.
More beans required.
Yeah, exactly. In addition, underneath this specific contract is additional bonuses that you would get. So if I fulfilled contract A, I can choose between getting a civet cat or getting a worker into my worker pool. And we will go through each of these bonuses as we play the game. But I also want to mention that if you completely fulfill the contracts in an entire row, then you get whatever the bonus is on the right-hand side here, which is going to be either a civet cat or an animal token, which we really haven't discussed yet. But I guess this is a good point to do that.
Might as well.
The last bonus that you get when fulfilling a contract are these tokens, and they are all the way over here. These are the contract bonuses. And so if I were to fulfill contract A, then I would get the topmost token in the A stack. I don't get to see what's below it. And these tokens get placed on this right-hand column on your player board. Each spot in this column houses one type of token. And so any of the leaves, the tokens that have leaves on them, are Arabica tokens. And so if I were to collect this token as well as fulfilling contract B for another pink Arabica token, I actually have to place both of them on the same spot because they are the exact same token. Now, these are different from their animal counterparts. So if I were to have acquired the pink animal version of the token, then this can go on its own spot because it's not the same image. The exception here is if I were to have acquired at least 2 of each type of a colored token here, then I can take one token off the top of each stack to place them together to form a new stack. And I believe they have to be the same color.
Same color, same type, yeah.
Yes, and the reason why you're doing this is because the higher you climb on this track, the more points you're going to earn at the end of the game. So it maxes out at 25 points, which is significant.
Yeah.
So
the most ideal thing you want to do here is have unique type of tokens, so that way you don't have to deal with the hell stacking mechanism.
Yeah, but eventually you're going to have to if you want to get as high as you can. So that is how these tokens work.
Now, the other option players can do during this contracts phase is they can contribute coffees or send out orders to the coffee bars here. So essentially what you can do is, depending on however many coffees you want to ship out, it's listed on the board. So let's say I had 2 of these purple that I'm not using towards the contract, and I want to go ahead and place it out there. So I can go ahead and spend my 2 coffee and place out one of my coffee bean scoring tokens and place it on the appropriate location. So in this case, I would place it here because I spent 2 of them. And I would get any bonus that's at the top right there. Some of these spots will have little coffee mugs at the bottom. That'll be for points at the end of the game. In one action, I can do this 2 times, but if in an action I only do it once, then I am completely out of the round. I'm out of the contracts phase, and that ends my turn.
So if you decide to start by placing coffees in the coffee bar, make sure that you're doing it on 2 spots so that you can continue fulfilling contracts during this phase.
Yeah, so in this case, I would spend that 2, and maybe I'd want to spend my 1 green just so I can put another thing out right here, and that way I'm still in the game, or still in the round. In order to place down here in this bottom row, you must deliver or give 6 of the same type of color. So it can be any color, but it must be of the same type. What you'll do is you'll get 2 coins right away. It'll score 2 points at the end of the game, and you'll also collect the animal token that's depicted there. Anytime, it's also important to note, anytime you collect one of these tokens, you'll also go up the appropriate Arabica track. So in this case, it would be the dark purple, which would be this one over here. At the end of the game, we're going to assess each column and score area majorities. Whoever has the most amount of beans in a column will get 4 points. Whoever has the second most will get 2 points.
During this phase, you can also turn in your stock counters for warehouses. And so you can turn in any 3 different stock counters for 1 warehouse, or all 5, if you have 1 of each type, for 2 warehouses that you can place directly onto your warehouse. Once you pass during this phase, that is when you're going to move your turn order marker down to the leftmost spot, and that's going to determine the turn order for the next round. And once everyone's passed, then you move into the final phase, finally, which is the refresh phase. And this is where you just refresh all of your stuff, essentially. You get all your traders back into your supply. You refresh your company cubes. If you borrowed the money from your bonus supply, you must pay it back at that time, or else you risk losing 3 points per coin that you cannot repay. You have to reset your warehouses to reflect the actual warehouses that you have there. And at this point, you also get 1 coffee bean per stock counter that you have on your board. And then you move on to the next round and you do it all again for a total of 3 rounds. At the end of the third round, you're going to have end game scoring, and that's going to be consistent of a lot of different things, actually. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to score for majorities in each of the 5 different co-ops. And you're going to be doing this based off of quality value points. That's the thing that we were talking about earlier. Each building placed in the co-op is worth 1 quality value point besides the hospital, which is worth 2. Each plantation is also worth quality value in the number that is stated on the plantation. So each level 1 is worth 1 point, etc. And if you have a building here, but you don't have a plantation in that co-op, then your buildings do not count.
That's right.
You must have at least 1 plantation for you to be in the running. And at that point, whoever has the most quality value points in a co-op gets 16 points, second most gets 8 points, and in higher than a 3-player game, the third most gets 4 points. And you do that for each of the 5 co-ops. Then you get points for anything that you have left over on your board. You get 1 point each for each donkey, worker, and civic cat that you have left in your company supply. If you have a truck that you didn't use, that's going to be worth 3 points.
3 points.
You then get points for your counter track, depending on the highest space that you get to, and only the top half is actually going to award you points.
Right.
You score your points for the Arabica track, depending on where you end up here. You score your contracts, as well as your coffee bar deliveries and the majorities in the coffee bar. You score any points for the plantations that you've built, as well as the buildings you've built. And you also score for any of these 3 completed milestones, which we didn't discuss. These milestones are going to change from game to game. There's always 3 of them, and we're going to talk about what our specific milestones are when we start playing. But basically, there are spots for 3 different people to go on there, and whoever fulfills a milestone first gets the topmost number of points, which is 10 points. At that point, you subtract your 3-point counters, and whoever has the most points wins. So that was a lot of rules.
That was it.
We're going to try to walk you through it when we do the actual playthrough. We do want to mention that we are doing the 2-player variant, which is going to consist of André, our third neutral player, who is essentially a bot. Each phase, André is going to do something very specific, which we'll also talk about during the playthrough, but they're not really going to take actions and they're not going to score points. They're just going to be a third player who's kind of competing for the area majority stuff.
And André will always go third.
Yes. And so we're just going to get cleaned up and get started with our playthrough. All right, so we are now set up for a 2-player game, which is really a 3-player setup of the game, plus the neutral bot known as André.
Yes.
We've already a predetermined turn order down here. So Naveen is going to be going first, followed by me, and then André is always going to go third. So their position will never change here.
And speaking of André is going to be doing a set of actions based off of 3 randomly drawn contract cards, lettered A, B, and C. So in this case, we have contract A, so he's going to be acting in the first round based off of this contract, and so on and so forth in further rounds.
Although André will not be participating in the Arabica track, they also will not be scoring any points, but we have to take them into consideration at the end of the game when we score the majorities in each of the 5 co-ops.
As well as in the coffee bars.
Yes, that's right. And everything else about André we will talk about as we play the game. So, are you ready to begin?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we are in round 1, also known as 1970. So, Naveen, you are first. We are in the work phase. Take it away.
Okay, so I'm looking down at my contracts, and I have 4 contracts that require the light, kind of light purple Columbia, and I don't have any footing in Columbia. So I think the very first action I want to do is get some sort of ground in there and try to build that up a little bit. Nice. So I'm going to build a plantation. I'm going to spend 1 action cube here and go to A. And which one do I want? I think I'll go with this one. Okay. Oh, no, not that one. Let's go with this one right here. Okay. I would like to get to this farm, but I'm not confident that I'll get there. So I'm going to build it out, and I'm going to build it out. Let's go here. Okay. Okay. So because I'm not present here, this is going to cost me one of my 2 workers that I started the game with. Yep. And I'm going to contribute them to the kind of this worker pool.
Because it's your first plantation.
First plantation there. Had I went here, or here, then I would not have to pay that 1 worker fee. Mm-hmm. And that is the beginning of it.
And there's no, that's right.
Yeah.
There's no bonus?
No bonus for that one. If I took this level 1 plantation, then it would be 1 donkey. But the progression is 1, 3 versus 1, 2, 3. So I'd like to have a little bit more access. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I like that thinking. I might do the same.
Cheater.
So it is now over to me, and I'm going to do the same thing. You know, this is going to be the action that we're going to be commonly taking.
You're going to want to look at your contracts and see exactly, hey, what's a common color or common co-op that is going to be appearing.
And I think the color that I want to protect, which I probably shouldn't say out loud.
I said mine out loud.
I think it's going to be green. Oh. Am I even in green? I'm not in green.
You are not in green.
So I'm going to go ahead and build a level 1 plantation. I'm going to do the same one.
Same one? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go smack dab in the middle. I also have to pay...
So some breathing room for everyone.
Or contribute a worker into the community center. Sure. It's my first one. And that's it, because I don't get... It's the same one that you got.
Very, very good.
So then it's going to be Andre's turn.
Andre.
And so Andre's going to be taking 4 actions during the work phase each round. And they're always going to be the same kind based off of this contract. So the first 2 actions they're going to take is building a level 1 plantation in the topmost color.
Yep.
And then the next one is going to be the middle color.
Right.
And the second 2 actions is going to be them hiring workers in both of those co-ops.
Right. So it'll be placing a plantation in pink and green, and then workers in pink and green.
Yes, exactly.
And that's because of this specific contract. In the next round, it'll be something completely different.
And for that reason, we know ahead of time as
Yeah.
players where they're going to be filling workers or placing plantations.
We know their intentions.
Yes, we know their intentions. So let's do that.
Sure. So Andre's going to go to pink.
Yep.
And the rules state that Andre is going to avoid as much conflict as possible. So
Yeah.
Andre is going to be all the way down here as far away from somebody else
Yeah.
as to not really block.
They're not really meant to block. They're just meant to kind of make the scoring more difficult, more competitive.
More competitive, and also this would allow for more coffee beans to be produced. If it was just you and I, the onus would be way too high on just us as 2 players to produce more coffee.
Yes. So that's it.
Yep.
That is Andre. It goes back to you.
Okay, back to me. So now I think I'm going to add a worker to each one of these locations here because
okay.
I know Andre's not going to do it for us. And I'm not exactly sure if you care about those contracts over there. So I'll do it for myself.
Okay.
And so I'm going to spend an action cube to place it here. And so I'm going to take workers from this pool and I'm going to place 1 on each plantation. So that means we have workers working in these locations here.
So we don't have to worry about
So we don't have to worry
filling
about
those
it.
in.
Now, because I did this and I contributed workers to other people's plantations, I will move up 1 spot on here. If these already had people on it and I only put it on my own, then I would not get that benefit.
All right. I don't like that you went up on the track, but I like that you gave me a worker there. So thank you for that.
Welcome.
Now it goes back to me. I'm going to put out another plantation.
Okay.
So let's do that. And okay, I'm going to go for the be everywhere strategy. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to build, this is my only level 1 left.
Okay.
I'm going to go here.
You're going to create conflict, huh?
Or I'll go here. No, that's terrible. What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to go right there.
Blow you out of the water there.
Yeah. So this is the first plantation that I have in that co-op. So I'm contributing my worker.
You get a little donkey here as a
I got a
bonus
donkey.
right there. So
So I have 2 donkeys in my company supply.
you do.
So in the future, that won't be a problem.
Very
And
nice.
that's it. That's me. So now it goes back to Andre, and Andre is going to build again, this time in green. So because they already have a level 1 plantation there, they're going to build a level 2.
Yeah, and they're just going to follow the path as if they were a regular player.
Yeah, and they
There
do
you go.
not need donkeys or trucks. They
Andre's-
have some special transportation
Andre's really
abilities.
good, yeah.
And that's back to you.
Okay, I think the next action I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did last time. I'm going to put workers into another co-op, and I'm going to put them in this one right here. So,
Sneaky.
we're going to do that?
Huh?
We're gonna do
Yeah.
that? Yeah?
I should have done that first.
So there's 1, 2. So can I go up on the brown?
Yes. Yes, you may. Oops. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, and that's me.
Nice. I like it. I wanted it.
You can do it over there. And
I know.
deep
I'm going to
purple.
have to do it here. So I'm going to do that action. So I'm going to go ahead and hire workers.
Yeah.
And I'm going to place them into this cooperative because I cannot rely on Andre to do this.
Andre's definitely not doing it. So.
No. So 1 on each of ours.
Oof.
And to be clear, if somebody had more than 1 plantation that needed a worker, then you would still only be able to fill the lowest one. It's
The
just
lowest
1
one, yeah.
plantation per player.
Yep.
And because I filled my opponent's plantations, I get to go up on the Arabica track here in Ethiopia.
Cool. Okay, so now it's Andre's turn. They are done building plantations. Their third action is going to be putting workers in pink. So they're going to go 1,
Nice.
2, and again, no Arabica track for Andre.
But thank you, Andre.
Snappy, Andre. Very good.
Now it's back to you.
Yep.
For if you are going to choose
Yes.
to take the cube out of the bonus supply,
Yep.
then yes, it's back to you.
I think I should, right? I mean, I could fill the workers here, and then Andre on their turn, they can just fill in their own little one right there, and I can get some more points, or not points, but I can go up on that specific Arabica track. But you know what? I think I'm gonna put out another plantation actually. So I'm gonna take this action. I'm gonna put it here, and I'm not gonna go to a new spot. I'm gonna go to somewhere that I've already been, and I'm gonna take this one, and I'm gonna place it here on this brown spot, spending my 1 donkey. 1 donkey goes there, and it cost me 1 coin to do this. But in return, the bonus is I get 1 civet cat. So I'm gonna place a civet cat
Yay!
in Sumatra.
Sumatra.
There you go.
Look at you making Kopi
Making
Lua.
moves. Making moves.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, so now it's back to me, and I'm going to use my bonus cube as well.
Okay.
But I'm going to hire workers again, and since you're not going to do this, I'm going to do that.
You'll do it, yeah.
That co-op.
That makes sense.
So 1 in each, please.
So you're going to go up on
I
green.
get to go up, yeah, 1 green.
Cool.
So that's handled.
Yep.
And then now for Andre's final turn, they're going to put the one
Put the
worker
one worker on green.
on their own plantation. There's nobody else. Nobody else is
Keeping it
there.
alive.
So that's it. That is the work phase. So now we're going to move on to phase number 2, which is the workers phase. I never get that right.
Yeah.
Here we can do this simultaneously,
Yeah.
but the only plantation that does not have a worker is Naveen's.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah. Oh, actually, so when I put this out there, I'm supposed to go up on the brown track.
Oh,
That's
yes.
what that symbolizes there.
Good.
Do not forget that.
Good job. So you're
Yes.
there. You go.
Perfect. And then I do have one worker remaining, and that worker shall go here.
Good.
So now I am naked of workers.
Wait, but you don't have to pay the penalty.
No penalties, no.
So then after the workers phase, we're going to go into the traders and contractors phase. So starting with you, would you like to put out a trader, hire a contractor, or option C, which you're probably not going to do?
Definitely not option C as of right now. Okay, I think for the first action, I'm going to send a trader to this particular co-op in Indonesia. So I'm going to send one of these here. And because I'm the first one to do this, it cost me 2 coins, all my money.
But you get this.
I do
get a stock.
in brown, yes.
So at the end of the round, you're going to get 1 coffee bean.
1 coffee bean, and
Indonesia.
honestly, I'm doing this because I see 5 of my 6 contracts all have a brown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6. I think that seems like a decent thing to always have a drip of 1 brown coffee coming to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to see if we're going to piggyback. And so I don't have a whole lot of the brown coffee bean needs on my contracts until the last 2, which are the hardest ones. So I think I'm just going to say no.
Say no.
I'm going to say pass, or I'm not going to go in. And Andre is going to immediately go in because they always go in for the second position.
Yes.
So since they're second, I get to take the coin.
Yep, that's right. Because you're the only one that said no.
Yeah. All right.
Very good. So you are next.
I think I'm going to place a trader in Brazil. So I'm going
Nice.
to go here to the first spot. And so I get this token, and I also have to pay
2 coins.
2 coins. And since Andre is technically next, they are automatically going to go in.
They say yes.
Because they say yes, they're going in as second. So
Yeah.
Naveen, do you want the coin or do you want to go in as third?
Seeing as so a lot of my easy ones require green, I only have 1 green here. It would be nice to collect a couple. So
Yeah.
I'll say yeah. So let's come in here. Nobody's going to get this because nobody said no.
Yep.
And that's that.
It has the most number of plantations.
It does,
So it's
so-
going to give some good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to give this whole plantation is going to produce 12 total coffee beans here.
Yeah, so that's nice. All right, and so for Andre's turn, we have a set of Arabica counters off to the side over here, off screen, and they're 1 of each color. And so they're face down, we've shuffled them, and each time it gets to Andre's turn, we're gonna flip 1 of them over. And if that co-op hasn't been arranged yet in terms of the traders, then they're gonna go to the first position. So let's see what it is.
Okay, so we have the lilac one, which is the Columbia. All the way out there. Yep.
Okay,
All right, so they are definitely going to go there.
yeah. They are gonna go first.
And they take down one of the stock.
Yeah, because there's only 3 of them.
There's
one
only
per
3,
round. Okay.
Andre's laying on its side. I like it.
Sorry, Andre. Now it goes to you. Are you in or you out, Naveen?
Yeah, I'm in. I'm going to piggyback this one for sure. So
All right.
I'll
Yeah,
go
me
here.
too.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
I have them on like so many different contracts.
Yeah,
I need
me
it.
too.
Yeah.
Especially some of the earlier ones. Yeah, that was necessary.
Totally.
So now it's back to you.
Yes, I have no money, so I can't build any buildings or I can't put out any people in new trade houses, but I do have this option of taking this money here, so hopefully I won't have to pay it back with the penalty. So I'm going to take that as my 2 of the 3 here, so I only have 1 trader left. Wow.
Your bonus stash over
So,
there.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so, okay, I have access to brown coming to me. I have that lilac color coming to me and green coming to me. So definitely this contract is something I can do. I kind of want to get 2 contracts here. So I am going to pass to see what becomes available because I'd like to save this money if
Wow,
possible.
Interesting.
Yeah, so only if all 3 of us consecutively pass will that round end or this phase will end.
Okay, so Andre is definitely not going to be passing because there are still
Available slots.
2 other co-ops that we need to assign traders to. So then it's back to me. And you know what? I'm going to hire a contractor this time. I'm going to build one of my fair trade posts.
Cool.
So same thing. It's going to cost me 2 coins, and I'm going to place my person there. And so I'm actually going to build this here. In
Oh,
green.
you really want to siphon green, huh?
Yeah, I want to siphon it, and I want to siphon it now.
Okay.
So I'm going to build it here so that I can go up on the Arabica track.
Yeah, the one area that
Brazil.
that can go, so that's good.
I believe that's it. I paid and I built.
You did.
Cool. So then it goes to you because André will never piggyback off of building buildings.
That's right. And so you know what? This is technically not an action what I did here. I never actually spent this money here.
Sure.
So I'm actually going to take the trader as my second action, and I will not be using those coins.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that there. And I will piggyback off of what you
okay.
did. I like what you did. So, okay.
Keep in mind, you have to give me a coffee bean.
That's fine.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a green coffee bean. I know you really want green.
All right.
So why not?
Thank you.
So I have to spend one of mine here, and then you just went up on that track.
Yep.
So then that is the cost there. And so I must put out one of these, correct?
No, you have to put out a building in green.
In green, that's right.
Yes,
Okay, that's
in Brazil.
right.
So if you put out...
If I put out,
post,
this one, then it would go here, which would siphon one off, which
it'll
is not...
siphon one off. It'll contribute to your quality value at the end of the game, but it will not bump you up on the Arabica track.
Which I kind of want to do.
Yeah, if that's what you're looking for.
I am looking for that. So I'm gonna get rid of this one right here. Put my tradesman there, and that's
one of the stations. Is it a washing station? Maybe a washing station.
I think so. Yeah. So that's gonna go here because it matches the symbol. So there's a little kind of yin yang right there. Put that right there, going up on green.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get 2 coffee beans. So
I feel
like that was a good decision to make. Right, I gave you one, I can get some back.
Oh, I should have done that. Which coffee beans would you like?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of the lilac ones right here.
Uh-huh.
And I think I'll take another green. Let's just get the green back that I get donated.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting. I don't know what's gonna happen here. We'll see.
Well, neither do I.
Yeah.
So that was my turn. So now it's back to André, and let's see. There are still 2 co-ops that are left to be
and the dark
assigned. So what do we have?
There it is. Yep.
This one.
Good.
All right. So they're going to go to the first spot. Oh man, that means I have to be third.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you going to end? I mean, are you going to be second?
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely want to be there.
Okay. How badly do I need this color? I'm only going to get 2 coffee beans if I go there.
Mm-hmm. You can pass.
No, I'll go.
Okay.
All right. I'm going.
I want to get coffee beans.
Now it goes back to you.
Okay, well, I am out. I am truly out. I have no money and I have no traders, so I will be passing.
Okay. So I'm passing, and now it's back to André, and this is the only co-op left to put traders in.
So let's just skip to that. We don't have to keep flipping because that's the only one we know.
André's just going to put a trader there.
André's in. Okay, André is going to take this one. We're going to remove one of those.
All right. You don't have a worker.
I don't have a
So
worker.
I'm going to go in for second because pink is needed.
For that reason, I pass. I'm the only one passing, so I'll take the buck.
Yes. I don't like that you got the buck.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. We are done with the third phase, moving on to the harvest phase. Now, we didn't mention at the beginning that our starting coffee beans in our warehouse is determined by our F contract.
That's right, yeah. And so for the top one, you get 2, and for the middle and the bottom, you get 1. And things have changed a little, so it doesn't look like that anymore.
Yes.
But that is what it is.
That's how it starts.
Yep.
And so now we're going to go through each co-op, essentially distributing our coffee beans. So let's just go from left to right.
Sure, yeah.
Starting with pink.
Okay, I'm not in there at all.
Okay, so this co-op is going to produce 6 coffee beans.
Yes.
So first thing, yellow is going to get 1 for being just first.
Right.
And now we're going to distribute the other 5 between the 2 of us, which is really unfortunate for me because it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
So I'm only getting 2 coffee beans. So I get 2 pink.
Yep. André doesn't take any beans. They just they siphon.
They don't take any beans.
Yeah.
So then moving on to Brazil.
Green. Yes.
This co-op is going to produce 12.
12 total, yeah.
12 total. First bean goes to me because I have a fair trade post here.
That's 1.
Second one goes to me also because I'm first.
2.
The rest of the 10 will get distributed. And so I think I have 6.
Okay, I get 3. I know that much. 1, 2, 3. So you got 2 plus 4. Yeah, you get 6. Yep.
Yeah. And so there is a maximum of 5 coffee beans that you can get from the distribution, with the exception of 1 for being first and 1 for having a fair trade post.
With these 2 exceptions.
Yes.
Having this building here does not count towards the 5, and being the first one there, that first one you siphon off does not count towards the 5.
Right. Okay, so now we're going to go to Indonesia. And, I'm not in this, sad. It's going to have a total of 9 coffee beans produced.
So I believe I get 5. So I'm going to siphon the first one, leaving 8, and then we divide them equally by 2 people. So it's 5 total.
Yep.
So let's go to 6.
Nice. And you know what? Before we continue, André was supposed to put out a fair trade post at the end of the last
That's right.
phase. So once the trading and contractors phase is done, then they put it out in the co-op of the bottom color,
That's
which
right.
is Ethiopia.
Right.
So we're assuming they would go here, right?
Yeah,
Make it tougher for us?
Yeah, there's two different options here. The rules don't state exactly where. A third player would take that action and block off the spot that allows you to go up tracks. So we play it that way. Okay, the next one to assess is Colombia over here. And so we have a total of 9 coffee beans going to be produced. André is going to siphon off the first. So it's really 8 amongst the 3 of us. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I get 3 and you get 2.
That's not cool.
Okay, so that is this one. So we're going to go to 1 to 4.
Nice. All right. And so for Ethiopia, we have a total of 9.
Yep.
But first, Andre's going to strip the first one off.
They're going to strip the first 2 off because of this fair trade right here, and they're the first here. So it's really 7 amongst us. So I
2
get
each.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go. 2.
Oh, that André. 1, 2. It really only hurt you, the fair trade post.
They got me.
And finally, our civet cats in Sumatra. So this is going to give me 1 Kopi Luwak bean, and you get 2.
I do get 2. Yeah, that's good. So these act as wilds, which are great.
And these also are now in the general supply.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the harvest phase. Moving on to phase number 5, which is the contracts. And we're going to be doing this in reverse turn order.
That's right.
And so on Andre's turn, Andre's only going to do one thing, and it's going to be right at the start of this phase. They're going to place 2 of their coffee scoring markers out into the coffee bars at the lowest spaces of each of these 2 colors.
Yeah, so
the
green
second
and
and
the
third.
dark purple.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're blocking it off for us.
So the lowest space of green would be this one green here.
Yeah.
And dark purple would be this one right here.
But that's it. They don't do anything else for the rest of this phase. So then it's going to go to me, and I have an option. Do I want to contribute at least 2 to the coffee bars, or do I want to fulfill some of these contracts? Before we get too far, we did not talk about our milestones. And so we haven't discussed this up to now, which isn't a huge deal because the likelihood of us being able to complete one of these milestones is pretty low at this point.
Super low.
But our 3 milestones are completing all 6 of your contracts. So that's one that you just want to try to do, I guess. That would also benefit you. Have a total of at least 10 coffee in 2 different warehouses.
2 different warehouses, yeah.
Yes.
Also not going to happen right now. Okay.
And then finally, to have at least 8 quality value points in 2 different co-ops. So that's a total of 16 quality value.
Yeah. As of right now, I have 2 here and I have 3 here.
Yeah.
So we're working.
Not gonna happen right now.
We're trying.
All right, I'm going to satisfy a contract. And I think I'm gonna start, or I'm gonna do this contract right here, which is contract A. It's gonna cost me 3 green. So 7 goes down to 4. 2 of the lilac.
Okay.
And then 1 pink.
Very nice.
So that's it for A. And because I completed A, I get 1 coin.
Okay.
I also have a choice between a civet cat and a worker. Ooh.
You have no workers. We both have no workers right now.
I'm gonna do a worker.
Yeah.
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 So
Workers are nice.
I'm gonna hire a worker into my worker pool.
Sure.
And I also get the counter on top of the A stack.
Yes.
So I have a pink Arabica counter. It has an Arabica leaf on it.
Interesting.
And that's that. I believe whenever you take these, whenever you take Arabica counters, you get to advance 1 step on that track. So I should have probably taken that into consideration.
That's good,
But
though.
that's fine.
You're bringing up everything.
Yeah. So that's me. Now it goes to you.
Okay, so I have some contracts to fulfill. So you took A. That means I'm in no super rush to fulfill A.
Right.
Because Monique has already fulfilled her A.
Right.
I do want to look at those colors because you want unique colors really to go up here. You don't really want to be in that situation where you have the same thing. Okay, on my turn, I think I'm going to satisfy contract C, which is the middle row, and that's going to cost me quite a few coffee beans as of right now. 3 brown, 3 purple, and 2 green. So I'm going to go from my 6 down to 3, from my 4 down to 1, and then from my 4 down to 2. And that's going to satisfy C. And so the benefits I get are I get 3 coins.
Nice. Good payday.
Thank you. I have a choice between another coin, or I can go up. Or I can gain a donkey.
Okay, so I think it's you go up the Arabica track and take a coin, or take a donkey.
Ooh, I see. So knowing that, I think, I kind of want the donkey, because in order to build out beyond the ones, you need the donkeys. But you know what? I think I will hold off, and I will take the bump and the extra coin. Okay. So I'll take 1 extra coin and a bump.
Where would you? Which track?
So knowing that C is going to get me that lilac color one right there.
Let's give it to you right now. Actually.
So I know I'm going to bump up on lilac.
Yep.
There you go.
That's you.
You know, I'm not really doing much in pink.
Yeah.
So let's move up pink right now.
Okay, smart choice.
Try to just bring it up.
So then it actually goes back to me because Andre's going to be skipping their turn for the rest of this phase. And I do have another contract to fulfill. It is also C. I'm kind of glad that you went first because I think I would prefer to go up on green right now.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But C is going to cost 3 green. So 4 goes to 1. 3. Oh no!
Oh no, you don't have enough.
I messed up.
That's okay. Take it back. Okay, there's something else you got though, right?
I'm not going to be able to fulfill that, but I am going to be able to fulfill B.
Sure.
Which is not as lucrative, but still fine.
That's okay.
So it's going to cost me 3 green. So 4 goes to 1. 2 of the D purple and 2 pink.
Okay.
So that's that. And it's not that great because B, unfortunately, is another one of those pink Arabica tokens. I'm not going to be able to go higher on this column just yet. But it does get me a coin. I can also, it's either go up on the Arabica track and get a worker or gain a donkey. I already have 2 donkeys. So I'm going to do the first one.
Yeah, sure.
So let's...
So you gain a worker and go up on the Arabica
gain the
track?
worker, yeah. And I go up on an Arabica track of my choice.
So you are going to go up, even though you're going to take the pink, you will still go up on pink by having that, yeah.
Right, and so I have to put it in the same stack because of the identical type of marker. And yeah, I'm going to go up brown because I'm nowhere to be seen over there.
Well, yet another benefit, you've completely cleared off your A and B row.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So I can choose between these 2 things. I can either take this green animal token, or I can take a civet cat, place it straight to Sumatra. You know, I think it is best to take the civet cat early. I don't know, actually. I don't know what the right answer here is, but I'm going to choose the civet cat.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to satisfy another contract. I have a couple options here, and I like the fact that all those tokens are different colors from what I already have and from each other. So I'm going to satisfy contract A. It's 3 lilac, 2 brown, and 1 green. So now I'm getting a little bit thin here, but I'm going to go ahead and take this one. So I get 1 coin for sure.
Yep.
I also can either get a worker or a civet cat, and I think I want a worker. Let's go ahead and grab that.
Okay.
All right,
there you go.
Then that's going to go there, and now I get the A token, which is that deep purple.
Yes, there you go. I'm going to move you up on this track, so now you're on the board.
I'm on the board. Okay, and I think that was everything there. I don't know if there was anything else I could do.
No, I think that's it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then it goes back to me. I don't have any more contracts I can fulfill. I'm pretty spread thin here. So now I'm looking at this coffee bar, and I think I'm just going to contribute 1 to the coffee bar. I'm going to take the 3 brown spot because I have 2 brown now. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll do the 2 brown and the 1 Kopi Luwak.
2 brown and 1. So this is going to get you 1 coin. And then for the Kopi Luwak, it's going to be another coin. And at the end of the game, 1 victory point.
Nice. So that's 2 coins?
2 coins, yeah. Okay. Or 2 bean counters, yep.
There you go. And I'm in 2 different columns.
Purples
so that's nice.
On the board.
So 2 coins, you said?
Yes, you get 2 coins.
All right. Wow, you have a lot of money. I'm just seeing that now.
Me?
Yeah, I felt good about these 2 coins. I look over there and get a mountain of cash.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to move you down here because of tiebreaker rules here. So these are all identical. So I'm assuming furthest down, we'll call that as the number 1. And so we don't know for a fact if this is the way this works, but if it comes down to a tie, we can figure that out.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be the higher number.
The higher number, and they're all 1s. So we'll just put you there.
Okay, so then it goes back to you.
Okay, so there's a way to get this B contract, but it would cost me all my money, so I definitely don't want to do that.
Oh my god, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I can only hold 1 of each type, so I'm going to spend both of my gold to actually put a counter out here.
Oh, okay.
So now we don't have to worry about that whole tiebreaker thing. Yeah. So I'll put it here. True. This gets me 2 coins, and it'll be worth 3 points at the end of the game. And if I can hold this majority, it'll be worth 4 points.
You get even more money? Wow.
More money.
I guess you won't be borrowing from your bonus supply.
Yeah, so I'll put it here just based off of what we said last time, just in case.
Okay. And because Naveen only contributed 1 coffee to the coffee bar, he technically passes now, which means you retain first.
I do. And we know
turn order.
We know Andre's always third, so you're second.
Gosh, yes, I'm second. So just move it back up now.
Yep.
And now we go into the refresh phase.
Yes.
So we're going to do a bunch of resetting here. So first, let's return all of our traders and contractors.
Yes,
back
everyone
to
comes back home.
Our boards, including into the bonus supply if you dipped into there.
Okay,
so I don't know where my other ones are. Oh,
yeah. 1 goes back to work.
And Andre as well. Okay. We also reset our action cubes, place them into your company supply area.
Yep.
Then technically we would adjust our own warehouse areas, but because neither of us are past our thresholds, then Everything's fine. We also get a coffee for each of the stock markers that we have. So I get one
brown.
in green. If you spent money from your bonus supply, you would have to repay it at this time. And we also replenish the coins in the
Yes.
co-ops.
This one here also.
Yes.
And I think those are the only two.
Yeah, those are the only two that we're taking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. So that we are now done with round one. That was round one.
One of three, yeah.
Three.
So we are now in 1975.
Yes, and it is you are first again. I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling too great. I don't really have much coffee, or we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we also ditched the top contract
Yes.
for André.
Where are you going, André?
Because we need to know. Yeah, we need to know where they're going.
Brown and green.
So they're placing. Okay, they're going to place a plantation, a level 1 plantation in Indonesia. And
they're gonna
go. Oh my gosh, they're gonna place a level 3.
Okay, I think first action that I'm gonna do is we're gonna put out a new plantation. I want to do this one so I can get this donkey here. I need to get this donkey moving. And so they are gonna load up in brown and in green. I will put this one here in brown. I'm already there, so I do not have to contribute a worker there. And I get my donkey as my bonus.
Yes, you got your donkey.
They are in the company.
All right, now it's back to me, and I'm going to do something very similar because the name of the game is putting out these plantations right now.
Area control.
Yeah, and seeing where André is going to be going this round, they're going to be hiring workers in brown, so I think I'm going to go there.
They're going to passively do it for you. So
Yeah.
might as well, yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and place a level 2 plantation. I'm going to take this one, so it's going to cost me a coin. And I'm going to place it, I can go either here or here. I don't want to compete with Naveen. I'm going to go over here.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
So I'm placing my plantation there, and it requires a donkey. I also go up on the Arabica track for brown because it is a level 2. Okay. And because I placed this plantation out, I get a civet cat. So I've got a civet cat in Sumatra, or 2 of them actually. And I believe that's it.
That's it, yeah.
So that's me. Now it goes to André, and André's going to build. Yeah, they're going to build a plantation here in Indonesia. All right, so they're going to build a level 1 plantation right there, and that's it.
That's it, yeah.
So now it goes back to you.
Okay, back to me. So, wow, this is getting a little crowded here, but I kind of like how much brown is going to be produced here.
Yeah.
Seeing as I need it on 3 different contracts.
Right.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to continue to build out plantations. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to build my level 2, which is this one over here. It's going to cost 1 coin to do so. There you go.
Thank you.
And I'm going to build it out here, and that's going to cost me my 1 donkey as well. So I'm going to go up on this light track. There we go. Okay. And there I am.
Nice. Well, so it goes back to me. I only have 3 coins left and 3 actions. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hire workers here. And so I'm going to go ahead and place, just 2. Oh, no, there's 3.
3, yep.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. And because I placed on my opponents, I get to go up on brown. So just 1 step right there.
They're competing, huh?
And that's me. So now back to André for their second action. And so they're going to build a plantation in
green.
Green. Oh my gosh. There we go.
That's going to go right there.
I've got a level 3.
André killing it.
Oh. And now back to you.
Oh, my turn. So, okay. Monique has already taken out what Andre's going to do here, which would have been great for me. So she did it and said, I might just do it here and add a worker here so I can go up green because I really have nothing else going for me in green.
You can.
Let's do it. So I will spend 1 action cube to go ahead and place out a worker on Andre's newest, most heavy-duty plantation just so I can go up that little track right there.
There you go.
Perfect.
So you went up 1, and now back to me.
Back to you, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and build that plantation in Guatemala. Okay. So that's going to be 1 action cube. Oh, which one? Well, it has to be a level 2.
It has to be a level 2.
So I guess it has to be one of these. So I'm going to go ahead and do this leftmost one.
Cost you a coin.
It's going to cost me a coin.
Goes here.
And yes, including my last donkey. So I need to earn more donkeys.
Yeah, that's my situation. You get to go up pink.
I go up pink, yeah. There you go.
Good. You're moving up those tracks.
Yeah, I guess so. That's it. Now back to André for action number 3, which is going to be hiring workers in brown.
In brown, which you undercut him.
Yes. So that's it. It doesn't. The rule book doesn't show any alternate plans if there's anything available. So I think we just skip it.
Totally.
And goes back to you.
Okay, so with this last action cube that I'm going to take from the bonus is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put out a worker.
Hire workers?
Hire a worker, yeah. And I'm going to do it on the one that you just put out there.
On mine?
I'm helping you out. You're
wow.
going to produce this. So that means I go up on pink.
Blindsided.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to go there.
So all I have to do is move up this one to here, and I'll get 3 points at the end of the game. So we're just slowly bringing it all up.
Well, I guess this is mutually beneficial because I have not left the track here in Colombia.
Yeah.
So for my last action, which I will take from the bonus supply, I'm also going to hire workers.
Yes. These are why these are called cooperatives.
Yeah, sure. It's just going to be for yours. And I'm going to go up right there. So pulling up the rear. And so Andre's final turn is hiring workers in green, but all of them have workers on them.
It's done, yeah.
So that is it for the work phase. We're now going to move on to the workers phase. And we're going to skip it, essentially, because all of the plantations have been filled.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go straight into the traders and contractors phase, starting with you, Naveen.
Me?
What would you like to do?
All right, so
you have a lot of spending power this time.
I know for a fact I'm not going to take this money, so I'm just going to move this over right now.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I'm going to build a building first. I'm going to hire a contractor, so it's going to cost me 2 of my coins.
Okay.
And I'm going to build one of these fair trade houses. So I'm going to build this one and place one of my workers in here, and I'm going to place it here on this lilac spot over there. So
nice.
I'm going to move up, and what does that get me?
1 coin.
1 coin. We had a discount on that contractor.
There you go.
Perfect. All right. Would you like to piggyback that?
Yeah, I don't know. I can piggyback, but I would have to build in Colombia. Ugh. And that way I could go up on this track as well. But you took the really sweet fair trade spot.
Yeah, I want it.
Yes, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
And I think...
Accepting all offers.
I'm going to give you a green.
Green, I'll take it.
There you go.
Perfect.
And I am going to build this. This is one of the stations, maybe the washing station.
Yeah.
And I'm going to place my person there.
Doesn't cost you any money, which is great.
No, yeah. And I have to place it in Colombia. So what is the symbol?
It's the yin yang.
So I'm going to place it right there. And that gives me a bump up here.
Perfect.
So at least I'm kind of pulling in evenly.
It's a co-op, like I said.
And I'm going to gain 2 coffee beans of my choice.
You can take your green back.
I'm going to take them both in the Ethiopian color.
Nice.
So 2 right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that was your turn.
That was my turn, yeah. So
now it goes to me.
To build?
Are
you going to build?
No, I'm not. I'm going to spend 2 to place out a trader.
So this is all your money.
Yes. All my money. I probably will need to dip
into
my bonus supply. I don't want to make the same mistake I made last time. I don't have that much presence here. It's going to be a lot of coffee. You know, I'm going to go here.
12 is going to be made there. Yep.
Yes. So I'm going here, and I'm going to take the stock counter there. And so then after me, it goes to André. And André is definitely taking the 2nd spot.
Yep.
And so Naveen, would you like the 3rd?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to be there.
You got to be in there.
Yeah.
You need some Colombia beans.
I do.
Okay. So now André goes, and let's go ahead and flip over one of these randomly. And André is going to go into Indonesia.
Ooh.
So
André.
They're first. Naveen, would you like to go in?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much to be produced. Any leftover I can send to these coffee bars over here, so I'd like to be there.
I mean, it doesn't cost me any money to piggyback here.
No.
But I only have 2 of these people left.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into Indonesia.
You're saying no.
I'm going to take this coin. I'm not going in there.
Okay, I think I'm gonna build. So I'm gonna take these 2 coins.
Okay.
And I'm gonna build. And I want to build one of these houses. So I'm gonna place this down here. So I only have 1 worker left. This might be foolish, but I'm gonna put this one here so I can go up on that track.
Okay.
Yep. So now I've hit everything. So at the end of the game, I will get at least 3 points for that track because everything has hit that threshold.
Nice.
I only have 1 tradesman left though. So I might have put myself in trouble. But are you? I'm going to take 2 coffee beans though. So I'm going to take 2 pink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the bonus here.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I could choose to piggyback here, and you placed it in Ethiopia.
I did, yeah.
Oh.
All the sweet spots.
I would have to give you a coffee bean.
Yeah.
The only good spot here though is this one, and you have to build either a farm or a hospital, which neither of which are options for me.
We're not ready.
So I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm not piggybacking there.
That's fair.
Okay, so now it goes to my actual turn. And, you know, I don't have a lot of money, but I can also count on other people to initiate in these other co-ops. I'm going to pass, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what Naveen does.
Sure. Well, we see what André does. Where's André going to dictate?
Yes, ready?
Yeah.
All right, André is going to...
Green. Here.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'll be 3rd there. It's not so bad because there's so much coffee being produced.
There's a lot of coffee being produced there. I only have 1 worker left, or 1 tradesman there.
Are you going to go all in on green?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to pass on
Oh,
green.
wow. Well,
So
you get a coin.
I do get a coin.
I'm going in.
More money. Okay, I'm going to spend 2 coins, and I'm going to go to this dark purple over here. So here
All right.
it goes. 2
Going to
coins.
Ethiopia.
Yep, Ethiopia. I'll take this token. I put my last tradesman there. And now it is on you. Would you like to participate? Piggyback.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I just want to make coffee beans. I don't know. Oops, not this one.
Nope. Yep.
This has got to be a mistake. I need to be building some buildings. Yeah, I'm going to stay in Ethiopia. And because I'm staying, Andre is not going to take the third spot because they only piggyback for the second
spot. Yep.
All right, so it's back to me and I'm passing again.
Okay.
And then Andre is going to take
Flip.
the last co-op here.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to go to the first spot. And Naveen, are you going to go in on pink?
I have no more workers, so no.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, I might as well go because I don't need to spend that money.
You can.
So I'm going to go into pink.
Because I quit, I'm the one that gets the money.
Yeah, you get the money.
I'll take it.
And before we forget, Andre is going to build a fair trade post in Colombia,
Colombia.
the bottom color.
Yeah,
so
not cool.
what is the fair trade post symbol?
It's going to be this one right here. Yeah,
Okay.
Unfortunately.
There you go.
He's creeping on my area control.
I know.
don't like
Trying
it.
to stay away from where Andre is going, I
Yeah.
guess. So that's it. So now we're going to move on to phase 4, the harvest phase. So again, starting with pink, 9 total. So 1 to Andre, and so 8 divided by 2 is 4.
Yeah, 40.
So I'm going to get 4 pink. That's great.
Mhm.
Okay, so Brazil?
Green, again, I'm not involved here, but you are going to strip off the first one, and then Andre will take the next one. So what do we got here? 15 total? I think you're going to get 6 because it's 5 max plus the 1.
Yes. So 6
6
in
in green.
Okay.
You're working it. You're working.
We'll see. Then we have Indonesia, and it's just between the two of you this time.
Yeah, here I think I'm going to get only 5 because there's no fair trade posts in play that I have, and I'm not first. So there's
Right.
about 18 total. He's going
Yeah.
to strip off the first, and the max I can ever get is 5. So I'll take it. So we go from 2 all the way to 7.
Okay, so Colombia, and this is 4 times 3 is 12.
12, yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's going to be a lot of stripping off. So 1 goes to you,
1 goes to me,
1 goes to Andre.
Yep.
So 10.
And
1
one goes
goes
to
to
you.
me.
and then so divide
So
by
now
9.
9. So
So
3
everybody gets 3.
each. So I get 4
So
total?
we both get 4, yeah. So
Okay.
what color is that? This one?
The
Yeah.
Colombia. Uh-huh.
1 to 5.
like
Okay.
And lastly, we have Ethiopia, and this is just 9 into us two. Just the two of us. So the total is 9, and it goes 1 to Andre's fair trade post. So we have 8, 1 to you for being first.
Okay, so 8, so that's 1 there.
So now 7.
Seven,
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So an
I
additional
get-
4.
And I get 3, and that's in this Ethiopia. Oh my
Okay.
gosh. And then
Ooh.
we have the Sumatra,
2
the
for you.
civet cats. So 2 Kopi Luwak. For me, that's nice. It's nice wild.
Mm-hmm.
So then back to the contract phase, starting with Andre. Andre's going to put their 2 coffee markers
Yep.
in the 2 lowest
Yeah, so lowest
areas
green.
of green and lilac.
Lilac. Where do you see that? Do you see that anywhere? Is it this one? It is that one.
It's a little bit too far from my eyes.
Yeah, it's this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay, Andre.
So that's it. Andre's done for the rest of the phase. So then it goes to me. What do I even have here? You know what? I could buy the extra bean that I need with the money that I gained from one of the contracts. Okay, so I'm going to fulfill a contract, but I will do C, and so that's going to cost 3 green. So 6 goes down to 3, 3 of the lilac, and 2 of the dark purple Ethiopia.
Okay.
And that's going to gain me 3 coins.
Very
And I have a
neat.
choice. I can either gain 1 donkey, or I can gain another coin and a bump up on an Arabica track. As much as I'd prefer to go up on an Arabica track, I'm taking the donkey.
Donkeys are very hard to come by.
Yes. And also, because I completed my C contract, I get to take this chip. It is a green Arabica counter, so I'm going to go up on the green Arabic track.
Good.
And that's me. So now it goes to you.
Yeah, okay, so I am going to satisfy contract B right now. So this one has 3 lilac, 1, 2, 3, 2 pink, and 2 green, so all my resources there. So I'm going to get 1 coin for sure,
Yep.
and then now I got to figure this out. So a couple different things are going to happen here. So with the B contract, I get the brown.
Yes.
So
But you get these.
yeah,
well.
so I'm trying to figure out based off of this, knowing that I'm going to go up on the brown.
I'm
so
just gonna do it now.
move up on the brown.
I don't think this order matters.
Technically not, and then I've unlocked this row here, so I get a choice between these two. I'm going to take the brown animal, and I'll place it there. So I go up again on brown.
Okay.
And I get a coin, is it?
Yeah, everybody who reaches this level, that's why it says one coin all.
What's the next
If you were the first person to get to that spot, you get a donkey.
So my choices are move up that track to get a donkey, and my choices here are move up a track to get a worker or get a donkey.
Right.
So I might as well do the move up the brown track,
Yep.
get a worker, and get a donkey because that is what's there. So I get a little bit of everything.
Yes, I like it.
Okay, cool.
Best of both worlds right there. That's great. So then it goes back to me, and I'm going to fulfill another contract. I'm going to do D, now that I have enough money to make up for the coffee that I'm missing.
Sure.
So this is going to cost 4 of the Ethiopian brand. I only have 3, so I have to spend that down as well as 1 of my Kopi Luwak.
Yep.
It also needs 4 of the green, which is Brazilian coffee, so I have 3 as well. So I spent that down, and the last of my Kopi Luwak, and then 3 of the lilac Colombian coffee. I only have 2.
Okay.
And because we are in 1975, I can spend 2 coins.
2 coins.
And it costs me 2 coins to make up that one coffee bean that I'm missing.
Yeah. Money at the end of this game is nothing, so use it if you need to.
Yes.
Very good.
So that's D.
Yep.
And because of that, I get 3 coins. So I get
Get your money back.
Get some money back. I also, darn, Naveen didn't take that.
I didn't take it.
Oh no.
But I'm also nervous about uncovering it because green is actually something I could use.
No.
I'm nervous that if you uncover one of these, then I'm stuck because D is something that I'm trying to satisfy.
Oh my god, I hope I do.
I hope you uncover pink.
Okay, wait. So I have some other stuff here first. I can either construct a building or take a civet cat and a coin. Oh, I'm going to construct a building. So let me take my my token first. So I'm taking this.
Pink. Purple. Shoot, I have that. Oh, and the next one's purple.
I know.
Also.
You should have taken this green while you had it. So unfortunately, I have to stack it in the same stack over here, but I still get that bump up in green, and I get a coin for reaching that spot. And then I've completed both of these in the same row, so I'm going to take this animal counter, which is a green animal counter.
Nice.
That goes in its own stack, and I get to go up on the green track here.
Your donkey.
Getting me and my donkey.
Uh-oh, you have a double donkey?
I have a double donkey.
Double donkey. That's not good. That means you can build 3s.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I need a donkey.
I do have this last one right there. And I think that's everything. So now I'm going to construct my building. And I'm going to build a fair trade post in brown because I need a lot of brown.
Yeah, going into the last round, you need it.
Yeah. So I'm building this one, and I'm going to place it right here so that I can go up on the brown.
You do.
Grab a track, and I get a coin for reaching that threshold.
So I will say, in addition to that, by placing that building out, you also get to go up another track.
Yes, I get to choose, and I think I'm going to go up here. Because is that wrong?
That'll get you to all 3 points. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm going to get 3 points for being in this entire row. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the game, this is also worth 2 points. So that's it. That's me. It now goes back to you.
Yeah. Okay. So I have this D contract here. So this is going to take a little finagling. So I'm going to do the ones that I have already. So 4 purple. So we go from 6 down to 2.
Okay.
3 brown. So we go from 7 down to 4. Cost 4 lilac. So I have 1, 2. And then I do not have any gold. So I'm going to make it up with pink 4 coins.
Whoa.
But I'll get 3 back for the bonus here. So honestly, so I pay 4, but I'm going to get 3 here. So there's the 1. You good with that?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. So then now I can either get a civet cat in a buck, or I can get the build here. I have cleared out this row, so I already know I'm going to get this over here.
Your civet cat.
Civet cat, yeah. And then so I'm going to take the free build action. I mean, this makes the most sense. Now, if I take this one here, that unlocks this row, and that allows me to then get
I believe you can build a hospital. Yeah, I think you only need to deplete one column, or else that would be way too hard, right?
Pretty intense.
And by the way, you fulfilled contract D?
D, yeah.
Okay, so you get this.
Yeah.
So, hey, you still get to go up on that Arabica track.
I do.
That's this one,
which is
right?
good, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. So this is going to stack on top of this because they are the same. Now I just need to decide which benefit here. I think building a building is the right thing to do here. Okay, and the building bonus I'm going to take here is I'm going to build this one here, which is going to get me a bump up somewhere. So I'm going to build it into this spot. That location.
Oh.
So I don't get to bump up because there is no symbol here, but I will be able to siphon off because look, in the next round I need 8 of those.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
You don't need any of them. So
my
Andre's
gosh.
going to come in there and steal half over there.
Oh my gosh.
Which I don't like. So I'm going to go there. And
Okay.
then because I did that, it's going to be worth 2 points at the end of the game, but I get a free bump up. And the bump up I will take will be in this location.
In this one?
Which moves me up, which gets me a second donkey.
Yes, you were the first to reach that spot.
First to reach that spot. Second donkey, which is good going into the next round because I have a bunch of building 3s that I want to build.
A bunch of building
I mean,
3s.
A building 3 that I would like to build.
Oh my gosh.
Not a bunch.
So then it goes back to me, and I don't even know. I don't think I'm going to spend my my coffee. Maybe I'm just going to pass, and I get to go first.
Okay.
And because I don't have any coffee beans in any other color, which is probably a really bad thing, I can move my warehouse over here so that it protects all of my pink.
Okay. So you're done there.
I'm passing, and so I'm going to get first in turn order for next round. So now it goes back to you, and you just take turns again.
Yeah. So I have all this brown. This is kind of a problem because I can only store 1, and I don't think I want to move much around. And I need these purples to get into the next phase. I wish I can carry over. Okay, so I'm gonna rearrange this here to protect this one that's gonna go bye-bye. And I'm gonna spend down, so then I have to spend all these down, huh?
Oh wow, you really want to spend your brown.
I mean, I have to, I think. So I'm gonna spend it all down, so that's 4 brown, and I think that's gonna put a spot right in there.
Okay.
And
you can also split it up if there's 2.
I can do a 3-in-1. I can do like that and that technically, because then I can be part of that area control.
Is that what you prefer to do?
Yeah, because a 4-and-a-1 is still a 1 coin. Yeah, let's do that. So I still get 1 coin.
Yeah.
But at least I'm potentially going to score 2 points there, even though André is going to block me out. Okay. That's that. Yes, I am done. So I did 2 things.
Well, you did 2 things. So are you done with
I'm going to pass now, yeah.
All right, so now you are second.
Yeah,
and André is still third. And so we're going to go into our final refresh phase for the second round. And so let's go ahead and get our traders back.
Everybody back to work.
So where are they all?
Yeah, they're all doing
2,
stuff.
3. I believe we have
5 total. 4 in play, and then 1 is in that bonus spot. I did not take any coins.
And I'm feeling like I'm not going to get any of these milestones.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The milestones are very tough to get to.
Yeah. I think that's it for yellow, right?
Yeah, we just need to restock the coins now. I think 3 coins total. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And then our action cubes go back.
There you go.
Yep.
Action cubes go back. 1 to the bonus. Back here.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have to set our warehouses and get. I don't know if you got this yet.
I haven't got it. No, so I'm gonna get 1 brown.
For each stock market.
And
each stock token.
Tokens. Yep.
And then we're gonna go ahead and move these up, and I'm gonna reset Andre's tokens over here.
Andre's last contract, the C contract. Ooh, he's gonna do deep purple, pink, and lilac.
Okay, so now that we're moving into the third round, which is 1980. Revealing this contract basically tells us everything we need to know about our neutral player here, and we can pretty much calculate the ending quality value for areas that we're fighting for.
Wow.
So they're going to build a plantation in Ethiopia, which is going to be a level 2.
Yep.
Because they have a level 1.
They'll build here
and 1 in pink. So 2 level 2s.
And they're going to build a fair trade post, typically here, but those are all filled up.
So they will not be doing that,
which is good for me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start by building a plantation.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and take that really popular action we've been taking a lot.
Sure.
I'm going to build a level 2 plantation, this bottom one here, because it's going to get me a donkey. So that donkey is essentially going to pay for itself.
Yeah.
So it cost me 1 coin. And I'm going to place it in Colombia, right there.
Ooh.
So I got to place a donkey from my supply, but I also get a donkey back into my supply as my bonus.
Okay, so a donkey back into your supply. You got it. There you go.
Thank you.
Interesting. You paid the coin?
I did. Okay. I paid 1 coin, and now I get to go up 1 on the Colombia track.
I like 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So just like that.
Okay, me. So I'm actually gonna do the exact same thing, but somewhere else.
Okay.
Because I know they're coming in here, so I kind of wanna stay there. So
okay.
I'm gonna build this one. It's gonna cost me a donkey, which is I'm just gonna put it down right there. And placing this one out, it's gonna cost me a coin. So there goes my coin, and then as a bonus, right there, I get a donkey back.
Nice. Oh, you did the exact same thing.
I did the exact same thing, but in a different location. I do
donkey economy.
I do get to go up on the dark one,
Ethiopia.
which gets me a coin.
Nice. Oops. I almost took myself with you. There you go.
Thank you.
So Andre's turn, and Andre's going to build a plantation in Ethiopia.
That's it.
So this is a level 2.
Yeah.
Oops.
So what's
Wow.
Andre's score there? 2, 3,
2, 3, 4, 5.
With mine, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, because you're going to get 1 point per building, unless it's a hospital. That's 2 quality value.
Yep.
And then you get the number of quality value equal to the number on your plantation.
Right.
So
Right.
that's Andre. It goes back to me. Okay, I'm going to build another plantation. And I'm going to build my level 3 now in Indonesia. So this is going to cost me 2 coins.
Okay.
Oh, I'm running out of money. I thought I had so much cash here.
Yeah.
So it's 2 coins. I'm going to need to put 2 donkeys in this spot. And I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Let's just go here and be friendly.
Okay.
So I'm going to go right there. Because I'm placing a level 3 in this row, I get to go up 1 on the brown track. Just like that.
So you do not get the donkey there because only the first person gets it.
Right. Yeah. And Naveen already reaped the benefits of that spot. But I do get one of these 2 counters here. And I think I'm going to take the wild.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah. I'm going to take the wild just so I have a little bit of a control over this part of the game. And it's going to let me bump up on a track of my choice. And I'm assuming I'll be able to go up on pink at some point. So I'm going to go up 1 here.
Getting you a coin.
Getting me a coin, yeah. And it does get me closer to that donkey if I'm able to get it first. So, oh, and building that plantation gets me, lets me hire a worker into my worker pool. And I get to immediately build a farm. So I have to do this now. If I don't want to build the farm or if I can't afford it, then I sacrifice this for the rest of the game. And so I am going to spend this coin and I'm going to build it here. Because I think this is just the only building I need to put here to beat out Andre. So I'm going to place it here.
Getting you the pink bump?
Getting me the pink bump.
Yeah, because of that symbol.
And now I get the donkey. Oh my gosh.
You need a donkey?
Yeah.
Donkey
Who
time.
knew? Donkeys would be so difficult.
Oh boy. Well played.
And I think that's it. So now it goes to you.
I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go somewhere else now. So
Okay.
let's put this down there. And we're going to be building this 3. It's going to cost me 2 coins. 1, 2. There you go.
Okay.
And 2 donkeys. And I think I'm going to build it out here. And so this is going to go in like that.
Perfect.
Okay.
So you get to go up on Ethiopia. You get another donkey.
I do. That's
the first
exactly.
one there.
Yeah, another donkey, which is exactly what I need.
Oh my gosh, you should push these. Wow, you're so close to the top for both.
Yeah.
Or for all 3.
I'd like to. So now I'm going to take a wild.
The wild?
Of the 2. Yeah, might as well, right?
Okay.
Take the wild, place it down.
Where would you
and-
like to?
Okay, and I'll just go up on Ethiopia as my wild bump.
Right here?
Yeah. So
All
it's
right.
going to be worth 6 points at the end of the game.
Yes, that's nice. You have hit the 6-point threshold.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. I think that was that.
Okay, so it goes to Andre.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Oh.
In the moment that I uncovered this,
Yeah,
I
your
can
farm.
spend the 1. Yeah, so I will. All right, where am I right now? So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
To
I
there,
have-
2, 3, 4, 5, 8 to 5 to
they're
1.
done, yeah. And if I put the farm here, then I would get to that next 6 points right there. And I would have 1 more point.
Yep, and you would be tying with me for first.
So I would be tying with you for first.
Because Andre's not going to be adding any more
Yeah,
components
that's
to
right.
that co-op.
So I will do that. Okay, so I'm going to place this out here, bumping me up there. So
Nice.
that was good.
Yeah,
That was good.
another 6
That was
points.
Another 6 points, yeah.
That's great.
Mhm.
Okay, so then it goes back to Andre for Andre's second action, and they're going to build their co-op, or their plantation, sorry,
Pink.
in pink. And that's going to be a level
Spot,
2.
Yeah.
So just like that.
Good job, Andre.
Yeah. And then now back to me. And I have 1 more donkey. I'm definitely going to spend on placing this level 2 plantation. It's unfortunate because this is the only building that I'm missing.
Okay, where are you going to place it? Yes, sorry, before you go, this bonus of putting out this 3, I get a
Oh,
worker.
you get a
Kind of similar
worker.
to what you did. Yeah,
There you go.
there we go.
And it really doesn't make any sense to place any more plantations in here for me, so I'm going to go with Brazil. So I'm going to take this top action, and I have to spend 1 coin to place out this level 2 plantation. I'm going to
Okay.
place it here, right there,
Okay,
placing out my 1 donkey.
donkey. You
I
pick
get
the
to,
coin.
Yep, pay the coin. I get to go up on green, getting me those 6 points. Because I completed this row, I get to, I get a worker, by the way. And I get to put out this farm. Yes, I'm going to definitely put out the farm. So I'm spending a coin to do this. Where do I put it? That's the question. So this is going to be kind of pointless. Although if I go there, that's 6 points.
Yeah. So the farm, unfortunately, will not bump you anymore. You've taken the one farm bump location. This is another farm, but you don't get a bump.
Never mind.
All these other symbols are not that symbol.
I was mistaken. Well, I can go here. Is there a farm? Yeah, I can go here and get 6 points for brown. I think that makes the most sense. So I'm going to go ahead and build right there. And that's going to get me the one bump on brown.
So how much? What's your total here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Do you have anywhere else that you have 8?
Oh my gosh! I just needed.
Do you have 8 anywhere else?
No, but I have 2, 3, 4. So if I somehow magically get 4 more
Yeah.
in there or in here, then I can complete a milestone. Oh, I really wanted to complete a milestone. I can't get them.
So it's my turn, huh? Okay, action cube 3. I'm gonna go ahead and build another plantation with that new donkey I got, and I'm gonna do the 2. And I have a pathway this way into this brown Indonesia.
You're in.
So I'll put it there, putting out this donkey there. That's gonna cost me 1 coin.
Okay.
But I gain a worker.
Yep. You also get bumped up on brown.
I do get bumped on, which is 6 points.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a race to those 4 points. Only one person can reach the top.
There's only one, yeah. So right now is my option to put this out. I should probably put this out. So that cost me a coin. There you go.
Okay.
And where can I put this? So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to your 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm gonna place my farm here. So yeah, I'm gonna put there. So my total value is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 to your 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh my gosh.
And maybe we can do something.
We've got competition in Indonesia.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for your turn.
For my turn.
And you paid for the farm?
I did. Yeah, that's why I only have 1 coin left.
Okay, so then it goes back to André, and André is going to hire workers for Ethiopia. So
thanks, André.
it's just going to be one for each of you.
That's okay.
Now it goes back to me, and I don't even know if I want to spend this bonus cube because I figured I'm definitely not going to. I have enough workers to just hire workers for the next phase.
Yep.
And I can't put this out.
Okay.
I don't have any donkeys or a truck. The only other option is to go here for either 2 coins, which 3 coins in my bonus supply is more, or a cat in Sumatra, which is just 1 wild coffee bean, when I can also just pay for that with the 3 coins.
That's right.
So I'm gonna pass.
Just gonna sit on it.
I'm out for the rest of this phase.
Okay, yeah, I also will pass. I'm not going to take another action because I think I want this money so I can churn and burn and do something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it just goes to André, who is going to hire workers in pink, Guatemala. So just on their own plantation.
Their own plantation, yeah.
So that's it. Unfortunately, we came very close, but we did not build all of our plantations. You and I both.
No.
Just this one. Had we built them all, by the way, then you would have a prize of 1 civet cat in Sumatra, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I guess can be life-saving.
Can be useful.
Okay, so now let's go into our last workers phase of the game, and you can pretty much just go ahead and plop.
Yeah, you're supposed to plop them down on your own first.
Right. And I have another one right there.
1.
And I think 1. Do you mind placing this on?
Sure.
There. Thank you.
2.
So that's it.
I have 1 right here for me.
And then are there any more that are vacant?
Any more that are vacant? I don't see any vacant.
Okay, so then that's it. We just have leftover workers.
Yeah, they're each worth 1 point at the end of the game.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we go into the traders and contractors phase. So starting with me, this is going to be our last opportunity to put out traders and create or build these buildings.
So I'm already going to move over this extra trader because I know for a fact we're going to want to use it.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't use your cube, you're pretty much just using these 2, so you might as well.
Might as well.
And I'm going to go first. I'm going to place a trader, so I have to pay 2 coins, to place a trader in Indonesia. So I'm taking that first spot, and I get a stock token. I can use that when we get to the contracts phase to turn in for a warehouse.
Nice.
Which I don't know how useful that's going to be at that point, but at least it's there.
I will follow you. Yep, it's my turn. So yeah, I follow you, and then André will not be.
André will not.
We'll just leave that there.
So let's just might as well clean it up.
Okay.
And that's that. So now it goes to you.
Okay, I think I need to go to this green spot over here because this contract needs it. So we're gonna place one there. It's gonna cost me 2 coins.
Ooh, do I need green?
And I get this one, which is gonna be good for me.
Oh my gosh. Well, André is taking the second spot, unfortunately. So I can choose to either take a coin, which would be nice. Maybe I say no to the green.
Taking a coin?
Yeah, I don't think I'm not gonna be able to fulfill both.
Okay.
That's just the reality of
So
it,
no?
because it's gonna require 13 each of brown and pink. That's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
So I'm just gonna take the coin.
Sure.
All right. So now it goes to André. Let's flip
it
over
up,
a random.
André. What do you got, André?
This one?
Sure.
Okay. Into
lilac one.
Columbia. So they're gonna go to this first spot.
Okay.
And now it's gonna go to me.
Yeah.
Oh, do I need that color? I do. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna piggyback.
You're piggybacking.
Yep. You gonna go third, or are you going to take the coin?
Let's see. How much is going to get produced there? 15. You know, I think I'm going to take the coin.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to satisfy. I'm not going to get to this 8 right here on this contract. So I might as well not waste my time.
Okay.
And every buck is valuable right now.
Yeah, that is true.
And every trader. Yeah.
Okay, so back to me, and I think I'm going to hire a contractor. I think for Guatemala.
Okay.
I'm going to try to achieve at least one of these milestones. We'll see.
Okay.
But I'm going to go ahead and spend, so I'm going to use this money. I'm going to spend 2 coins to hire a contractor. I'm going to put out this station right there. So I'm going to place a worker there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to place it, where is that symbol?
That's this one right here. If you're trying to go up the track.
Oh yeah, this spot we can't use because that's in a 4 or 5 player
yeah.
game. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go there.
So you get a bump up on pink.
Yes, that brings me up on pink.
Wow, look at you.
And I get 2 coffee beans of my choice. I'm gonna take both coffee beans and brown. So just like that. All right. So would you like to piggyback? You would have to build in Guatemala.
I would have to build there, which is not terrible.
But you'd also have to give me a coffee bean.
I would have to give you a coffee bean, and you want brown, and I have brown to give.
To give?
Okay, so I will piggyback off you, and it looks like, based off the math here, I think you have enough brown, so I might as well just donate a brown to you
Okay.
to do so.
Thank you.
And I'm going to put this one out, and I'm going to place it on this pink location right there. So I'm going to be able to siphon off 1 pink at least.
Yeah.
I move up, and then by me taking this off right here, I get to move up on any track of my choice. So I'm going to move up on the green track.
Nice.
So now I hit that threshold where everything's a 7.
Yeah. So that's gonna be 10 points total.
Total, yeah.
For that. All right, and that is my turn. So now it goes back to you.
Okay,
your actual turn.
Yeah, back to me. Eesh.
This is a tough phase. I think this is the toughest.
This is a tough phase.
It's definitely the trader and contractors. This is where things actually really matter.
They do.
Right?
Yeah, they really do. Okay, I think I am going to pass.
You're passing?
I think I'm going to pass.
We just talked about how important this phase is.
Yes.
But maybe that is.
I'm in the weird
a good
odd
strategy.
numbers here right now, so pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it goes to André. And let's flip over one of these. And we have pink.
Pink co-op.
So Guatemala. They're going to go to Guatemala,
here.
which
Pink is out.
I was kind of hoping for.
Oh, you
but,
wanted the token?
You know, second is fine. I think second is going to be enough. So I'll take second. Are you going to go in or are you going to take the coin?
No, I'll take the coin.
Oh, okay.
I will take the coin, yes.
No pink. So that's a lot of pink for us. That actually works out. Cool. So then it goes back to me. I have one last person here and 2 coins. I have exactly what I need to do just one last thing. So I'm going to build this building. Well, I can choose either my last station or my last fair trade post. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spend these coins now, and I'm going to build a building in Guatemala. So I'm going to build my last fair trade post.
It's going to go here?
Yeah, because I'm trying to achieve the milestone that requires me to have 10 coffee beans in 2 different warehouses. So I do need 6.
Oh, wow.
And right now I'm maxed at 5 because I didn't take the first spot.
That's right.
So
wow. So that makes it 6 for you?
Yeah, this makes it 6.
Oh, wow.
I'm placing a fair trade post. It doesn't let me go up on the track, but the benefit of that last fair trade post is a bump up on a track of my choice. So I can go up here for 7 points.
For 7 points, yeah.
Or go up on any of those for 4.
For 4, yeah.
So let's do this one.
That was the decision I had earlier when I went up to that 7 spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is the right move. And that's it. That's it for me, I think, for the rest of this phase.
Yeah. So the question to me is, do I want to piggyback there?
Right.
I don't think I want to
Nope.
because it's not looking too good right there.
Okay, then it goes back to you
Okay,
for
so
your
it's back to me.
actual action.
Okay, so I'm going to build one of these, which we haven't seen all game.
The warehouse.
The warehouse, yeah. So I'm just going to place it. I'm just going to place it here.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. So It doesn't really matter. I can move it around.
Right.
That is going to still cost me the 2. But now my ratio is, instead of 4-to-1, it's a 3-to-1. So if I want to change anything out, I can.
You can.
And it's going to be worth a point at the end.
And you get a coffee bean.
And you get a coffee bean, yeah. So what do we got here? I'm just going to move up on this one here.
Okay.
There we go. I'm actually not going to go up this one. I'm actually going to go up this brown.
All right, so then back to André for their final turn, because there's only one co-op left.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be that one.
It's going to be that one. So they're going to go here for the first. I don't have any more traders, so I can't even take that action.
I definitely need that for this contract here, so I will place that there. You get the coin.
Oh, okay. I don't think I can do anything with it,
Yep.
but that's cool.
Cool.
So it goes back to me. I'm passing again, and now back to you.
Okay, so I still have some coins and some traders here, so I have one too many traders.
Yeah. How did that happen?
I don't know.
Wait, I don't think you placed a worker where you built a
probably
building.
where I built a building, yeah.
How many times did you build?
I think I built there for sure.
And the warehouse, right?
Which warehouse?
Did you just put out a
This
warehouse?
one. Am I out of workers?
I think you're out of workers. Suddenly you have no one.
Suddenly you have no one. Is that right? Did I build this one earlier? So this one's been here for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
where's
you
the other
built
one?
in pink, right? You backed off me?
Yeah, I think it's like this is what it probably is. That makes way more sense.
So then you're passing.
I'm passing.
All right, that is the end
$2
of the phase
All
because we've filled all the co-ops. At the end of this phase, André is supposed to build a fair trade post in lilac, the bottom color, but because there are no available spots, there are no available spots, so they can't do that.
They won't do it. Yep.
Right, they won't do it. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next phase, which is harvesting for the final time.
Okay, pink.
So starting with pink, yes. It's just, so there's 12 total because there are 4 plantations. So 12, you get 1, I get 1.
Yep.
And so does André. So now 9 between the two of us.
Between the two of you. So you're
So I
going to
get 4.
4, yeah.
So 4, 5.
5 total.
5 total.
Yeah, 1 for me.
Okay. So I'm going to go up to 9.
Oh, so
my
you are short.
Gosh, I'm short. Oh my gosh. I anticipated getting 6 here, but I didn't realize that the bean was going to put a fair. Oh my gosh. I'm seriously short a bean.
And you're short a bean for this, is what you're saying, the milestone?
Yeah. This
Ooh,
is
that makes you feel
awful.
better. I thought you were going to get it.
It's not over. I might be able to move things around. We'll see. We'll see.
What?
That is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to green. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
6,
plantations.
yes.
That's 18
So-
coffee. Wow, it's a lot.
So you're just going to get 1, so call it 17.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm only going to get max 6 because it's 1 for here and then plus the 5, so 6 total.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go from this to all the way to 6.
Yep. And that's it.
That's it.
Wow, that was a lot of coffee beans over there.
Yeah.
Next we have Indonesia. This has even more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 24.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much just going to max out. I have 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You have 7, and I think
7.
I get max 5.
So I go down to 10.
Go here to 6.
Okay. Then we have Colombia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15 coffee beans, and it's just us two, but you have a fair trade post right there.
Yeah.
So 15, 1 to you.
1 to me, so I'll just take it now.
So then it's 1, 2, 3. So 12 divided by 2.
So you get 6.
So you get 5.
5.
Because you can, I have to max out at 5. So 5 in the last. Oh, this is going to be, yeah, okay. I can turn in coffee. Okay, now this is going to work out. The final one is Ethiopia. And this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 18.
Yeah.
18. Who has fair trade posts? The two of you. So you get 1.
Yeah, I think I'm going to max 6 right here.
So 18, 1, 2, 3. So 15. Yeah, you're maxing out at 6.
Okay, so I'm going to go from 3 all the way to 9.
And that's that. Lastly, you have 1 civet cat in Sumatra. So you get a kopi luwak.
I get a kopi luwak, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get a little wild. Getting a little wild.
Wild.
And that's it for that. So now we're moving on to the contract phase for the final time. We're almost at the very end of the game here. And so it's going to be starting with André. Their last 2 markers, coffee markers, are going to go on the bottom 2 of, I believe it's pink and lilac.
Yeah, so pink is here, and the lilac is right below it.
Okay.
Cool.
So they're not that aggressive, the neutral bot. They're more
Yeah.
of, just something else.
Causing
that's
some
there, right?
problems here, though. They really are. Because I was part of this.
You got to try to usurp. And so just as a reminder, because this is our last contract phase, on your turn, you can spend 3 different kinds of stock markers to build 1 warehouse, or all 5 types to build 2 of them. And you can also trade your coffee beans at whatever your current trade ratio is.
I have a 3-to-1, so I'm definitely going to spend all 3 of these to put this out, because just putting this out is worth 3 points. I also get a civic cat. So let's just go ahead and put it there. Why not?
Okay.
And then, so I get the cat.
Yep.
And the cat's going to hang out in Sumatra, which will be good for the end of the game, I believe. I don't think I get the gold now. The gold bean right now, right? I don't think I get that now, right?
You only harvest those during the harvest phase. That's done. So.
It's too bad.
But I think
could
they'll
have
score
really
something.
used that, thanks.
And that's not technically an action. I don't think so, at least. The rulebook says action. There are only 2 of them.
Right.
So don't forget, you can turn in 6 of one type of color to get an animal counter that you may not have. That'll push you up on that Arabica track and get you closer up here, which you and I are not. Well, you're close to getting points here.
Let's go with the green. Might as well.
Okay,
so let's go ahead and satisfy a contract. So I'm going to do this one right here. So it's going to be my F contract. It's 8, 5, and 4. So we go down from 9 all the way down to 1.
Wow.
5. So yeah, 7 down to 2, and then the 4, 6 down to 2. And I get 4 coins, and I get to build my hospital, which is awesome because my hospital is going to get built here.
Hey!
And that allows me to move up to the last spot right there. And
you usurped.
I usurp you here. So I have a total of 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to your, what is that?
8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Wow. Right. That was well played.
Yeah, and I got to the top there. And I think that was my first contract action. So
you complete a milestone.
I do complete a milestone, yes. Thank you.
I see 8 quality value in both Indonesia and in Ethiopia, because 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh.
So I did this. So I have 2 of that. So I'm going to get 10 points at the end of the game. You just put it kind of at the top right there.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Wow, you netted a lot there. That was a big swing. Because you also got to the top of that Arabica track. So.
That's right.
Well done. Okay, so then it goes to me, and now I feel like my turn is anticlimactic because I'm pretty much going to do the same.
Okay.
But the first thing I'm going to do is I too will turn in these 3 counters to build my top warehouse. I also haven't built any here. And so I'm just going to place it. It really doesn't matter where I place it now. Put it right there. And that's going to get me a coffee bean. Oh, I don't even need to turn in stuff.
Yeah.
It'll get me that pink coffee bean that I needed, and I can flip this to the 3-to-1 ratio.
Nice.
So now I've completed the milestone of having 2 coffee beans in 2 different warehouses.
Nice.
So
well, there you go.
There's that.
It is a nice turn.
And then I'm going to use those beans to fulfill my F contract, essentially doing the same. I need to build my hospital. And so this is going to be 8 browns. This goes down to 2. 5 pinks, this goes down to 5, and 4 of the lilacs goes down to 2. And then this is going to get me 4 coins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as my hospital. So let's go ahead and build out the hospital in pink.
Sure.
It's not going to get me a bump up on the Arabica track, which is fine, I guess.
Sure.
But it also completes that milestone for me because I now have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nice.
And where's my other 8? I think here, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yep.
Awesome. So I get 8 points for that milestone.
End of the game. Dang it. Nice.
And neither of us was able to fulfill
the last contract.
Our last contract, yeah.
There's
for
no
that
way.
third milestone.
That
would have been one short of the plantation, one short of the contract.
Yeah, well, I think we had similar looking boards here.
Yeah, we copied each other.
Yeah.
What's up with that? We skip André for the rest of the game, really. And it goes back to you.
Okay, back to me.
You get first dibs at this coffee bar.
First dibs at the bar. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do at this coffee bar is I think I'm going to try to buy some beans. Can I get to 6 here? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I can get to 6.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I fulfilled this contract, by the way. I should have gotten one of those tokens.
Oh, yeah. So you fulfilled yours first, right?
I did, yeah. So I did E, or the F.
F?
Yeah.
Okay, so
which
you
is
get
that
this
one.
green one, and then I get the pink one at the bottom. No! Oh my gosh,
That
I
one.
have 3 of these.
That one went there.
Ugh.
Either way, it didn't matter because for both for you. So that would have went. That goes there. So that by me doing that, I go up on green,
Yes, you go up on green,
which gets me a coin.
which gets you a coin, and I go up on pink, which is
great
nice.
for you.
It gets me to the end
Either way,
here.
pink or green got you 4 points.
And you know what? Because I have this wild counter here, I think you can combine it with any other color.
Okay.
So if this is how I'm understanding it, then I can put this second pink Arabica counter on top of the wild one. And then because I have 2 stacks of the same type of token, I can combine the topmost chit from both to form another stack, which is not really gonna get me to the points that I need to score at the end of the game, but at least it's closer.
That could be the difference there. Okay, so now I think I want to get one of these, and I think I can claim one of those. So in this phase, we can turn in 3 coins to represent any one bean. So here's 1, 2. So I have 2 beans. We're gonna go. Let's just do brown. 3, 4. So I have 4 beans in brown, and then I have a 3 to 1. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. So it's 5. And then I'm gonna use my gold to represent 6. So
Okay,
that's
so
6
6
total.
brown.
And I'll just take this one right here. So I can usurp this guy.
Okay,
There we go.
so you take that counter.
Take this
Does it get you
counter.
anything immediately?
It's gonna give me 2 coins. So, I'll
So
take-
did you spend that?
all this gets spent.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I get 2 coins, which I'm going to take back into my supply.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I'm given here. And then I get this one, which is the dark purple. So the dark purple is going to go
Oh,
up
it's
there.
an animal counter.
Animal counter, which gets me up on the last part of that track.
Nice.
Which is
Lots of
something there.
chaining here. at the
Yeah,
end of
so
the
that
game.
was bar delivery 1.
Now, don't forget, I just want to be very cautious here. We still have to pay back that money.
All right.
It's minus 3 points per coin.
You're
So don't spend those 3 coins.
I totally was not paying attention, but you're right.
Been
I
bad.
am done then. That is me. I quit. I'm out of it.
Are there are no more available spaces for just a 1?
For a 1, no.
Andre
Andre
took them
is
all, right?
pretty mean on those.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me about that. By the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So now it goes back to me for my final coffee bar visit as well. And let's see, I have 5 pink beans. I don't have enough coins to buy an extra bean because I only have 5.
That's right.
And that would put me short unless I get another coin actually.
Well,
for placing them.
if you put the 5 here, you'll get 2 points and 2 coins, but that'll spend all your pink, and then at that point you can figure it out.
I kind of want to put out a 6 so I can get a token.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really see another area majority spot that's
there's
going to
a-
win me anything.
A green track though. This one will get you up to the last spot on
Yeah,
the green.
that's the one thing that I was eyeing. So, okay, so in order for me to do that, I need to turn in 6 of the same bean color.
Yeah.
So I have to trade in 3 coffee beans to represent 1, or I can just purchase, I guess.
You can.
Okay, so I'm going to spend my coins, 3 coins, to purchase a 6th pink coffee
Sure.
bean.
Mhm.
I'm going to spend them all down to go on this one right here.
The
so I
green
can
one, yeah.
take, yeah.
Yeah.
So I can take the green animal counter.
You get 2 coins back.
Oh no,
Oh, you already have a green
I
animal
already have a
counter.
green. Oh, actually, I do have another green animal counter, but because they're both the same color
Oh, yeah.
with 2 in each stack, I can take 1 off the top of each. I really need to know if I'm doing that right because I feel like I'm not, but I'm gonna do that, and I get to place that here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Even though one's the animal counter, one's the Arabica counter, they're the same color, and so I think that's okay. But
Yes.
either way, because I took the counter, I get to go up on the Arabica track. Okay.
You get your 2 coins, so
Huh?
you can pay
Oh,
your debts.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's important.
Very important.
Right, so I'm not going to touch that money now. In fact, let's pay that back
Yeah, I'm just gonna move it over.
right now.
You're right.
Okay. And then for my second contribution, is there a 4? Oh, there's a 4 brown.
If you do the 4 brown, you will then officially be winning this spot. Because right now they have 2 to your 1.
Yeah, I
Okay.
actually can't afford it.
never mind.
I have a total of 6 beans here, so I'm only going to be able to place on 1 color, and I can only afford 1 extra bean of that color. So I'm going to go with the 3 lilac. So I'm turning in these 2 brown and 1 green for 1 extra lilac because I have a 3 to 1 ratio.
You're gonna do this one?
And
Yeah, the 3 lilacs right there.
yeah,
So you get a coin
so
and
I can
a
get
coffee
second.
cup.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
There you go. And so I'm turning in all 3 of these. I'm going to get a coin and 1 point, I guess, at the end.
Yeah.
And that's it. Those
That's
were
it.
two contributions, and that's it. We both pass. So at this point, you're supposed to reset. We don't really have to, I guess.
I don't think so.
The important part is you just have to make sure that you've paid.
Paid it off.
Yeah, and that we have.
Wow.
So let's go into endgame scoring.
Sure, let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
We've come a long way
Long.
to get to this point,
Long way.
but we are here, and so we're going to go in order. Okay, so we are going to use our handy dandy score sheet here.
Okay.
You can write the date, but I'm just going to skip. Are you red?
Yes, I'm red.
Okay, N, and I'm purple, so M. No, André is yellow. I'm not going to put André in there. So we are first going to score the area majorities using our quality value for each of the co-ops, starting with Guatemala.
Guatemala, here. So I think it's, I'm ineligible because I don't even have a plantation here.
Yeah.
So it's just between you and André. And I think it's you.
Yeah, because I have 8. We've determined that earlier because of the milestone. To André is like 2, 3. So I'm going to get first place here.
Yes.
Which is 16 points. Okay.
0 for me.
All right. Next up, we have Brazil, which is over here. And I think André has us here.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to your 2, 3, 4 to my 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I get 8.
And I get 0 because
we don't award third in
only a 4 and 5 player game.
3 player game. Okay.
That's not good.
So let's hop on over to Indonesia, shall we?
Okay.
And I think this is where you got me, right? Because I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yep.
And you have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because again, the hospitals are worth 2, and then the plantations are worth their own points values.
So I get 16 and you get 8. And André only had 1 on there. So, yep.
Nice.
All right.
Colombia, which is this one. It looks like Naveen has 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I have 2, 3, 4. Wow. That's painful when it's by 1.
Hey, I get it. Over here, I got it.
Yeah. So you get 16?
16, yeah.
And I get 8. Then we have, of course, Ethiopia.
I think this
The
one's
last
all me.
one. And, definitely. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To Andre's 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have 1.
1. So 16.
So 16, and I get 0 there. So now we score points for the stuff in our supply, and it's going to be these 3 things. First of all, 1 point per worker. I have 1 left.
I have 2.
Okay. You also get a point per donkey. I have 0.
0.
And 1 point per civet cat.
I have 1.
So my grand total there for my company supply is 1.
Okay, and I have -3 total.
3 points?
Yep.
Okay, we would also get 3 points per truck, but neither of us earned our truck.
Yeah, which you have to do by satisfying contract E, which none of us did.
Next, we score our counter track, and so the highest point I reached here is 4 points.
Okay, I got to 8.
Oh, nice. Look at you go. Now we score the Arabica track. So there's only 1 line here for the entirety of the Arabica track, so we have to add these all up.
So we both got the total of 10 because we brought up the...
Yes. So we both have completely filled up to here at least. So that's going to be total 10. And then let's just do all of yours first.
Sure.
So it's 10 plus...
10. 6 and 4, right?
Yeah, 6 and 4. So 10 plus 10 is 20.
20.
26.
36.
36.
I think that's it.
And that's it. So 36 points for Naveen. For me, I have that 10 over here.
I think you're exactly identical.
Really?
Yeah.
10, 20, 36. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, then we have our milestones. And so you have 10.
I have 10.
And
I think you have 18.
18, because I scored those 2.
Right.
Our fulfilled contracts. So these are just going to be the points that are underneath all the contracts. So it looks like I have a total of 3, 6, 10, 15, plus 9.
24?
It's 24?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
24?
Yeah, because we both fulfilled the same
The exact same contracts, yeah.
Why didn't we zag?
I don't know.
Coffee bar deliveries, can you just add up the totals before the majorities?
Oh, like on the actual number? So I'm going to add yours. So it's going to be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4?
Okay.
And for me, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow. Okay, now the bonuses. So this is going to be majorities for each column.
For each column, you want me to tell you?
Yep.
Okay, so for...
Or just total, actually.
Okay. So we'll count mine right now. So I get 4, 8,
Yep.
9, 10, because I'm second place.
Okay.
11, 12, 13, 14 for me.
14. And it's because it's a number of coffee markers.
Number of tokens
and
there.
if you're tied, it's whoever
is the
basically
furthest
fulfilled
down.
the most. Yeah.
Yeah. The highest value, yeah. Okay, so for you, you get 2. 3, 4, because they have 2 markers to your 1.
Right.
So 2, 4, plus another 4 is 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
Is that what you get?
Yeah, I think so. Constructed buildings. So that's going to be all of these.
Yeah.
As well, I believe, as well as your plantations. Although if we built the exact same ones, I don't think we score any points.
Yeah, the only way to get points is by clearing this one off right here.
Okay. So it's just these buildings, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, I think I count 20. Let's figure this out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Sorry, 17.
So we're going to do a little bit of math, and then we will let you know how it goes. All right, final scores are in after that really long playthrough. This is a really long game.
It's a long game,
By the time we edit it down, it's going to be much shorter, but this is like over 3 hours.
It's a 3-hour journey, yeah.
So
for us right now.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
Final scores were Monique, myself, with 151
Okay.
to Naveen's 166.
Oh,
You did it. You crushed me.
I gotta win. Oh,
Good job.
wow.
You should go into the coffee trading business. Although I'm just kidding. It's not that easy, I'm sure.
Wow.
Good job, Naveen.
Thank you.
And that was a really long one. Gosh, my brain.
I gotta win.
My brain is like an omelet.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of and a lot to do. And
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of mathing of things that are not necessarily money.
Yeah,
You know?
because this one is not about making the most money. You just need to make sure you pay off your debts at the end.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good there, especially when I got the 2 milestones. But
I was feeling bad when you got those, yeah.
You definitely got enough of an edge on enough things to have a spread, because that was at least, what was that, 166 to 151. So that was a 15 points.
Yeah, 15 points.
That's a significant margin. And the thing is, the spread between the first and second place for each of the co-ops is 8 points.
8 points, yeah.
Which is a lot. So you won first in 3 different
Three of
co-ops.
them, yeah.
3 out of 5.
Yeah.
So good job.
Yeah, and then the coffee bars, I try to make sure that I edged out a little bit more. And then the milestones is just, you try, you gun for them. But
Yeah.
if you come up short, you come up short.
All right, so let's talk about it. This is Coffee Traders. We've been trying to cover this game for a while, but there are a couple of barriers to filming this.
Yes.
One being the extremely large board.
It is very big.
Yes.
Getting it all on camera, I don't know right now how it's going to look, but I'm hoping that it's clear enough as to what we're doing in the game. But there is quite a bit of table presence here.
Yes.
These
there
player
is.
boards are pretty big, also.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're playing a full complement, which I think it plays up to 5 players, I don't know how you get 5 players
That's a
on a
large
table.
amount.
You'd
of
have to have
table
a
space.
really big table.
So first, we apologize if you're unable to see the fine details of the video. This was just a very, very involved video to make, and so this is, if we had more time or resources, we wish we could, have it zoomed in and all that, but we just couldn't.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you're still able to follow along. This was a little bit more of an involved teach as well.
Totally.
Like, we haven't done a teach on the front end of a playthrough that long in ages.
in quite some
I don't
time.
know. The Lacerdas, maybe. Right?
Yeah, probably the Lacerdas. Yeah, this is kind of a Lacerda-esque type of game, for
Yes,
sure.
this does feel, that's exactly, the first time I played this game, that is exactly how I felt. I felt like this is area control Lacerda.
Yeah.
It has a lot of the same kind of interweaving mechanics, but not quite the same. But it's definitely on that level of thinkiness, I suppose.
Thinkiness
Quite heavy.
and length.
And length, yeah.
Length with the thinkiness, yeah.
So before we get into the specifics, what are your general thoughts about Coffee Traders?
Oof. Well, it's area control primarily. And so, because you got the area control in the coffee bars, you have area control in the 5 different cooperatives. That's primarily where you're going to get most of your points. For me, I am not the biggest area control fan.
Yeah, neither of us are.
So it runs fairly long for something that is the main mechanism is not something that I'm the biggest fan of. So, it's a good game, but I don't think it's something that I would want to reach for on a very regular basis, especially because of the amount of time for setup. In addition to just the length of the game itself.
Yeah, and we will talk about the specifics as to for both sides, why we appreciate the design and why maybe we have some mixed feelings, but I totally agree. I have mixed feelings on this game, and I think people in general might be split. I know a lot of people who are in love with this game. You post a picture about it and they're like, oh gosh, I'll play that game anytime I can get. And so
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's
It is a
absolutely
very
amazing
interesting, refreshing design. It doesn't feel like any other game that I've played, really.
Yeah, the way you
Besides
take your
the
actions and everything.
Lacerda-esque kind of thinking, it's new. And that's part of what makes the overhead on the rules kind of difficult, because you're learning a lot of new concepts in one game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I also am not a big fan of area control. And the first time we played it, we thought that this is going to be an economic game. That might have been, obviously that's probably our mistake for being misinformed.
Sure, yeah.
But it ended up being an area majority game in basically all aspects of it, in the Arabica track, in the coffee bar, and of course in all of the different cooperatives. But it also is still kind of an economic game.
You still have to manage your...
not all money.
Yeah, you have to manage your money. You have to manage even your cubes, your action cubes.
Yeah, your action cubes, your workers, your
donkeys,
the trucks, if you are able to get one.
The actual coffee beans.
Yeah, the actual coffee beans,
Yeah.
exactly. So there's a lot of different resources that you are managing that make it economic in a different way, right?
Yeah. It's not about making the most money. It's about just being the most efficient with everything else that you're doing.
Yeah, it's about a lot of things, actually. So let's start with theme. What are your thoughts on the theme?
I do like the theme of this game. I'm a big fan of coffee.
Wasn't this a game that made it on one of your lists?
This was actually on my Essen, I think it was last year's Essen most anticipated games of 2021 or something like that. I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, maybe that's what it was, of 2021.
Yeah, coming out this year. And I think it might have been, I don't remember now where it was, but I think it might have been a runner-up. And at the time, the box and everything on BGG was saying it's a 3 to 5 player only game. And I think the 2-player variant is an afterthought, because it seems like it's a pamphlet that was added in. Printed on the box, it says 3 to 5, but then they added this pamphlet that is 2 to 5 now. So I'm glad there is an option to play it at 2 players.
You can definitely play it at 2.
Yeah.
This variant is definitely playable, and we'll talk a little bit more about the 2-player variant.
But yes, the theme, I'm a big fan of coffee.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it is the cooperative, so it's not so much that this is my company and I'm going to dominate you with my company. We're all working together in these different regions of the world, trying to create these or cultivate these beans and then trade them and fulfill contracts. So I like that. It's a little different than kind of just the greedy kind of business.
Whoa, what games are you playing?
This game's like
business.
That. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think that is what initially drew you to this game, to put that game on your list, right? It was the theme, because
it was the look and the theme, yeah.
Yeah, because you really love coffee. I'm really new to coffee drinking, really just this year. And so I'm starting to learn a little bit more about it. Like Kopi Luwak was something that was just new information when we started playing this game. I really like the fact that it's centered around different companies and trading coffee beans and the co-op, like you said, rather than just roasting coffee, because I feel like using a theme like this is very tempting to just go with the coffee making process rather than the business of growing the beans and trading them.
Yep.
Right? So I thought that was really cool. And the theme goes in line with a lot of the components, like specifically the rule book. Okay, the rule book is not the best. It's not awful. It's just not...
I see what they were trying to do with it, but it's not very user-friendly.
It's very pretty. It's very nice to look at. Like when I picked it up and I started reading the rule book the first time, I thought, whoa, this is cool. This is the first time I've ever seen a rule book that looks like this. It's it very much fits in line with the theme. There are like artistic side notes just having to do with the background of some of the history of coffee making and stuff like that. But it does leave a lot of rules open to interpretation, and that's what makes a game really difficult to grasp, especially if it's heavier. I've found myself having to go onto like BGG forums a little bit too frequently, or a little bit more than I would have been comfortable with. Yeah. Because I was left with a feeling of maybe I'm not playing this game correctly. And even still now, and this is a game that we're filming and covering, I'm not 100% sure if we played every single mechanic properly.
Or aspect of it, yeah.
As well as the bot. The 2-player, the André. I don't know if we played every single one of André's turns properly, because some of those rules were also open to interpretation. So
talking about the rule book and André. So André is actually, the rules come on this little leaflet pamphlet. It's almost like a little brochure, and it's also the backside is its player board. So if you need to reference something in here, make sure you take a picture of the inside of all the rules for André, because once this thing is stacked with things, you're gonna have a little difficult time trying to access the rule book.
But I will say, you don't actually need this.
You don't technically
We did not use this for our playthrough because really is just a mat that you just toss all the components on top of. What I did is just put all the components off to the side of the table. There really is no André presence really outside of that.
Yeah.
And then I would just follow the actual rules. I would rather look at the rule book than stack stuff on the mat, if that makes sense.
Taking up more table space that you don't need to.
This is not that functional. It's just a placeholder for components.
Yeah.
But in terms of the components, I'm not sure how many games this affected, because I did see while perusing for rules clarifications on BGG that it did happen to other people. But some of the components, because there's so many components in this game, there is that risk of the game arriving with some of them.
We had
100%.
some of our cats' tails broken off.
Yeah, we had to glue some of
a few
those. In terms of player count and replayability, so let's talk about replayability first, because player count is kind of a big deal for this specific game.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know about the long-term replayability of it. I feel like you're doing kind of the same thing every single time, especially once you understand how the area control works. Like, you know, you're going to want to get your plantations in a protected area where you can build out that level 2. You know, you're going to want to cultivate as much of the beans that you need for all the contracts that you're going to need. So there's going to be different contracts that you're going to get, but clearly you're going to be doing the same things over and over.
Yeah.
And the only variation really is the contracts. Everything else kind of happens the same. It's really about how the other players play, and kind of if people are going to be mean and block you off, then maybe that can kind of change things up a little bit.
Right, I agree. I think it's all about the player interaction and how people offense defense in all of these areas. The only variable components are going to be the milestones, which are really the only ones that change goals, because the contracts also have a different arrangement of them, but it's just different combinations of different colored beans. Yeah. But it's still going to be the exact same bonus options, everything else in terms of your buildings, everything else is exactly the same. So that's why I don't necessarily know that strategies will change so much, because I feel like I would still go for the same combination of buildings in that order, and it's really just going to be dependent on how much money I have at that time.
Yep.
But player count is definitely a thing, because this game does play up to 5, and then we did play the secret 2-player variant. So we've played this at 3 as well, but we haven't played it at higher than that, and I don't think I would want to. I might want to play it at 4. It would just be so long. So long. Really, and the thing about this game that makes me not really gravitate so much towards it is quite long, and over the course of that time, I just don't feel like I just don't feel like I'm accomplishing as much as I would like. And maybe that is a product of the type of gamer that I am, because of how I've been kind of groomed with like Lacerdas and all these things, where in that span of time, you've done all this stuff and you have all this endgame scoring and you've created this huge path for yourself, right? And this isn't quite that. You're pretty much doing 3 rounds in like 3 hours. Yeah. And at the end of the round, you're kind of in the same, you potentially are in the same place where you were in the end of the second round, right? It's just who has that 1 point higher in that co-op. Yeah. Who can edge out who?
Yeah, like in Indonesia, it was a 8-9 difference, and that's a 16-point swing, and that's the difference in the game.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's little things like that that you're just kind of swinging back and forth, rather than a large, big plan that you're creating over the course of 3 hours. I would personally say that the 3-player game is better than the 2, for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because in a 3-player game, the buildings are going to be built, and spaces are going to be taken up a little bit more. The area controls and the blocking, there's going to be a little bit more blocking there, because definitely in that 3-player game, I got blocked off for sure trying to get into a 3 spot.
Yeah.
The bot in this one is just kind of making it a little bit difficult.
The bot is nice.
It is
nice. The bot is really not
friendly.
Out to get you. Yeah, André is very friendly. It doesn't say anything in there where it's like, if on their turn they have an option, they always take the meaner one. It's not like that at all. They're just there to provide a third neutral player. They're not there to make your life difficult. So they don't block off donkey paths, which is a big part of higher player counts.
Yeah, they're there to make the math work on the game, it seems, because they're going to help produce more of these beans in these different co-ops. They're also going to fill these plantations with different workers.
That's the thing. They're not in the business of ruining our lives.
No, they're not.
Just there to provide a third neutral player. Difference. And because of that, they also don't construct buildings, and so we don't have the opportunity to piggyback off of them constructing buildings in that third phase. Yep. And so the 3-player game is just much better because the dynamic around the table, the meta game, the psychology of the offense, defense, and you're not just focusing on each other. You really are focusing on 2 other people, and you cannot predict what that third person is going to do. Unlike André, you can math out everything André is going to do as soon as you see their contract for the round. And so the 3-player game is much more interesting. But I do think that if you do want to try this at 2, the 2-player variant is not bad. It does make it so that you can play it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of really interesting stuff going on in this game. And the thing about it is my brain is trying to think objectively, as objective as I could possibly be, right? You can't totally be objective. Yeah. But my brain is telling me that this is a fantastic design. Like, this is a really good game. It's just my personal enjoyment of it is not quite there because of my interests, right?
Yeah.
And just because of the way that I am used to playing Euro games, the enjoyment that I get out of those, I can't find that same kind of enjoyment here. I think the feel of the game over the course of a round is really cool. It kind of follows this kind of like bell curve. Like, you start the round in the work phase where you're kind of building. It's a lot of prep. And then you kind of go into the trader and contractors phase, which I think is the main part of the round, honestly. Because that's where you make all the decisions that really matter.
How do you extract as many beans as possible? How do you compete for those beans?
Yeah, the work phase is really where you're just setting up and where you're trying to set up shop. And then you go into the traders and contractors, and that's when you really mean business. Like, that's when you decide which beans am I getting this round to be able to do whatever stuff you'll be able to do by the end of the round, right? It's a lot to think about. You know, if you want to hold beans from round to round, you have to make sure you have a warehouse there. The different buildings do different things, kind of.
Yeah.
They gain you different things depending on what you're building. And just managing all the different resource types, the cats, the donkeys, the workers, your money, all that stuff. I think in the first time I played it, I was very frustrated by because I couldn't figure out how to get these things and when I can use them. And even though everything is public knowledge, it's hard to tell kind of who's winning or like how you're doing at any given time, just because there are so many different areas where you're going to be scoring points and you don't calculate them until the very end.
I actually appreciate that about in certain games, because sometimes in a 3-hour game, if you just see you're falling behind on the score track and you're getting clobbered,
your motivation,
you're just kind of like,
goes down.
An hour and a half of this? Like, oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And some of the rules are kind of fiddly. And that is the thing that also kind of gives me a hard time. Like, the whole counter track on the right-hand side here, oh my gosh. I still don't know if we're doing that properly. And
that is such a strange mechanism.
Yeah, it just feels like a very disconnected mechanism compared to the rest of the things that you're doing, I guess. It just doesn't make any sense as to why you would need to do that way.
Yeah, that whole matching up, if you happen to just get the same colors, then it ruins like what you want to do for your contracts.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's cool because
it's to create some conflict on your own board and your own decision making.
It definitely does throw another side of strategizing. Like, you're thinking, okay, if there's a decision on the coffee bar as to 1 or 2 things that I can take, I'm going to take the other thing because I need that color of animal counter. Or also just like, which co-op do I build my level 3 plantation so that I can take an animal counter, right? So there is a little bit of that, and it does also contribute to endgame scoring. But in the end, I'm not a big fan of that track. A little bit too fiddly. And so clearly we have some pretty mixed feelings about the game. But what are your final takeaways?
Like I said, this is not a game that I would want to pull out on a very regular basis just because of the length of time. If this could get somehow shrunk down into a smaller, quicker kind of experience, I think I would enjoy it more.
Yeah,
I think
that would be cool.
The time to enjoyment ratio for some reason is off for me. So it's a good game. There is a lot of good things going on in this one, but for me, in the long run, is it something that I want to keep coming back to? Probably not. How about yourself?
And by the way, the time, we keep on talking about the length of this game, but the reason why it's really long is, in my opinion, it causes a lot of analysis paralysis. Like, you only have 3 rounds, and each round you can only do each phase once. So if you finish your potential 4 actions in the work phase, you're only doing it 2 more times.
2 more times, yeah.
So you're really worried, a majority of the time of, am I going to get all these things done? And so it can cause a lot of analysis paralysis for sure. It has a lot of refreshing mechanics in it, and I feel like overall it's a refreshing design. I really, really enjoy the sort of meta aspect or the player interaction, especially in that traders and contractors phase. I think that's probably my favorite part. But in general, it has a lot going for it that does not closely in line with my interests, especially the area majority aspect. And for that reason, I also can't keep coming back to it. But it is a game that I can recommend for those of you who do enjoy area majority and heavier thinky games. And so that is Coffee Traders. If you stuck around to the very end, thank you so much for joining us, because this was quite the game to film.
Yes, it was a little difficult to get this finally tabled and filmed properly. So thank you all so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.